Quick primer, some stuff for Fox. Herbal tea stuff. I didn't finish all of it yet, but at least for now, though, you can do. You can make the red mint teas, which were the one for to more exhaustion effects for a little while. I think we may have to adjust balance on it a little bit over time, but at least for now, anyways, if you do brew that for anybody, anybody can drink it, of course. We'll ignore exhaustion effects for up to an hour after drinking it, but you're only able to have that effect once per day. And if you drink it on subsequent days, there will be a con save that you'll have to make each day, and that'll get higher and higher. And if you fail it, then you just don't get any effects from the tea.
Okay.
Sound good?
So it's a limited time effect, and okay.
Yeah, and if they basically, it's the idea is that something similar to almost coffee essentially, but with kind of diminishing returns. So if you try to drink it every day, you're just going to end up with like building a tolerance to it essentially. That'll go down over time. It's not a permanent thing. So if you just don't drink it for a little while, then it would be better. So you could brew that for helping to deal with lingering injuries, or if Norok is beating himself up from rages and so on, frenzied rages.
Okay, so where do I find it?
I'll put it on your sheet for you. I didn't finish it yet, or I didn't finish all the rest of them yet. But for now, though, you can brew that just anytime during, you can really brew it. It only takes a few minutes, so you can do it really at any time. But easy on a short rest or something like that would be fine too.
Okay.
Ingredients for it, you would have picked up enough because they're both common. It's red spearmint and wild tarragon, and both of those are common herbs. So you can, you had enough of that from when you raided the herbal shop in Cadogan, so you said we had plenty of those.
Herbs along the way, but I forgot to ask which herbs because we went over to something else, and then there was the bat, and yeah.
What we'll do, I'll have you roll on the swamp table a couple of times then, because you were in the swamp long enough that you could have, along the road grabbed a couple of things, because it was 4 hours or so that you were traveling through the swamp. So I'll have you roll in there a few times.
And when we stopped at one point, I specifically went to forage and see if they could find anything else to eat. So.
Cool. Another thing then, I think we may tinker with the exhaustion rules a little bit, only because as it is right now, they kind of unfairly penalize Norok more than anybody else, because the first thing is really, everybody when they roll skill checks is one thing, but Norok has a more common penalty from it. I think to even it out, there's an alternate rule that's out there with the Unearthed Arcana that we might try, that basically instead of having just disadvantage on all skill checks from the first level, it would basically be a d4 that you would roll, and you would subtract that from your results of saves, checks, and attacks, things like that. Basically anytime you roll your d20 for the most part. So we'll look over it a little bit more. I'll probably drop it in Discord sometime during the week, and if we need to adjust balance, we can. If you guys don't like that alternate rule, we can just stick with the regular one. It's just as it is now, especially with the lingering injuries thing, exhaustion will be more common for everyone, but the only one who would really be penalized a lot by it would be Norok, whereas everybody else, it's not as big of a deal, and this would kind of even that playing field a little bit, and be a little bit more realistic as well. So quick thing, actually, you guys don't have a map up in front of you. When we do bring a map up, I'll show you this, but I saw a trick that I wasn't aware of before, where you can draw a quick line that helps, like for judging distances and stuff like that. You can just do it with a click on the mouse instead of having to actually go into a line or click on something and then target it to get the arrow distance. And then lastly, the beta for the updated version of Fantasy Grounds is coming October 28th, which is a lot sooner than expected. It wasn't supposed to be until December. So we'll probably tinker with that for a little bit, but I don't think we'll be able to run games from it for a little bit. It seems like there's still a couple of things that they're working out, but it'll be cool to at least have like the animated maps, like for rain effects and stuff like that. That'll be cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so everybody have the MOTD?
Yeah. Yup. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I do. It's right there.
Gotta get in character. Have you had enough to drink to keep the Irish accent going?
I just started it. That's probably why I'm not already speaking with it. I just barely sipped off the top of my beverage.
Gotcha. All right, so where we left off then, you guys were rushing as fast as you can with the Olderok to get it to Dunskathek as fast as you could. Arteme is still in an Aurochs form, of course, with the Olderok strapped to her back, and you were being escorted to the secret entrance by Sergeant Prince, who saw an approaching Vabian patrol of Iskil, which are those giant undead raptors, and kind of an Allosaurus, more basically between, think of more a little bit bigger than like Jurassic Park raptors, between that and a Tyrannosaurus, that halfway, let's say, in size between those two, but still very large. Both of those were being ridden by Mortrilla soldiers, and then a group of Albashar at their feet. And Norok noticed that he thinks he might recognize one of them, and that's where we left off. So, and also it had started raining during that run, so it's raining pretty hard already. It's not thunder and lightning or anything of that sort, but it does seem like it's going to worsen. But at least for now, it's basically raining pretty heavily. And Sergeant Prince had shouted to you that, as loud as he could to let the group of you know without alerting the oncoming patrol. But he says, we can't let them spot the entrance. We'll have to dispatch them quickly, or we'll draw the eye of one of those flying fell beasts above us. Lieutenant Sampson, what's the plan? And Sampson kind of shrugs at him as if he doesn't have much of an answer. Remember, he's been rushing this entire time, so he hasn't. There you go. It's Power State 17th, 1 a.m. He hasn't really even caught his breath so much just yet, because he was actually running alongside the bull the whole time. I'm going to share you guys a map.
Whoa.
There we go. Let me adjust that in here for the. There we go. All right, and the Iskil and the Mortrillis, everything that's coming towards you, are in the southeast.
And where do we need to go for the Seeker's entrance?
Basically, they're going to be crossing your path. They're moving. Okay, so now that everybody has the map now, right?
Yes.
Ben, Becky,
Yep.
You guys have it?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Everybody hold down left and right click at the same time, and then just drag it across the map, and it'll draw an arrow for you.
Okay.
So you see that? So that's a quick way you can draw an arrow that'll give you a distance between two things, and then to erase it, just left and right click again. It'll anywhere on the map, and it'll disappear.
Cool.
So pretty handy little thing for judging distances and so on. Anyways, the dinosaur creatures with the Mortrillis and all of the soldiers. The Mortrillis, I put them next to the Iskil, but they're actually riding them. I just put them next to it because stacking tokens on top of each other is a pain in Fantasy Grounds. But they are traveling this direction. But it seems like basically that there's these kind of paths through these ruined trees out here that have been deforested for the most part. You don't necessarily know if they're going to go, around this way or around this way, but they're basically, moving towards you, and you guys' goal is down that way. But they are kind of moving towards where at least according to Sergeant Prince, who is up there with you guys, they are moving essentially towards that secret entrance, and he's afraid that they're going to stumble over it.
Is that area over to the right? Is that like a bonfire?
It's small fires. Yeah, it's small fires. So there is some light coming from that. You guys are far enough away that you're not in the shadows of it or anything.
So can we tell if there's anyone else over there, or is that just empty?
Make a perception check.
Oh, not great perception.
Oh, see, since I can't actually speak,
Not gonna do it.
with Sarah ability is dark to hide us.
Depends on how dark it is out. I mean, I'm assuming at 1 a.m. it wouldn't be too noticeable.
Yeah, depending on the moon, if it's like overcast, whatever. Like even if there's a full moon and it's like really cloudy, then it would still be dark enough for dark.
Well, it is raining.
So,
Go ahead.
and also, it's raining, and I'm pretty stealthy. I could maybe go cast a diversion and then sneak back around, loop back around. If anyone wants to come with me, we could cast a diversion over by that fire over to the west and maybe draw their attention while we get back.
We do have the broom.
So we could get there sneakily and then cast some sort of diversion to catch their attention and then get back. But, that would maybe allow for us to go around. I could probably make a very loud noise, something that would cause them to go in that direction instead. Also, are the rest of these guys, Prince and these other gentlemen, are they going to the secret entrance, or are they gonna? You
only have Samson and Prince with you. Okay. The rest of basically Sergeant Prince came with you, but he told the rest of his group to stay back there where they had set off that barricade where they stopped you, and he just came to escort you to the secret entrance. But as you guys are discussing this out loud, Sergeant Prince keeps looking at Samson, expecting him to say something, like expecting him to interrupt, and Samson doesn't. And then he eventually, Samson just, or Prince rather, interrupts you and says, "We can't just let them find the entrance, though. We have to get them away from there somehow."
Well, so you're telling me the secret entrance is just like a door? Like if they walk next to it, they're gonna know that that's an entrance?
It's
Not quite the greatest secret I've ever heard of, really.
He looks at Samson again and then back at you. He says, "It's a rock, but it's an illusion. If they walk through it, they're gonna know."
Yeah, but
The hell are they gonna walk through a rock for? I'm just spitballing here, but I mean, I've never encountered those creatures before. I don't know if we'd even be able to take them.
You would have her. Well, I guess you would. Okay, everybody knows what they are. It's the same as knowing, that dinosaurs existed and so on. You would have likely never seen anybody or any of them actually up and moving because they've been extinct forever. They're just raised. They're undead. Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey, we got a whole 2 minutes in.
Record.
High fives all around, guys. Great job.
That is absolutely fucking infuriating because I literally ran it for 4 hours today. Just let it sit to see if it would crash, and it didn't during all of that.
You have
Anyways,
more trouble with audio way, so that the chances of them stumbling on it are very slim.
In case they have a way to talk to people, huh? Yeah, because they can tell the other ones. Okay.
Prince nods. He says, "Yeah, I mean, if we can take care of them in the middle here, or basically we just can't let them get too far away because they're heading straight towards it."
All right.
And as for your question about walking into it, my concern is less about them walking into it than it is about them getting too close and recognizing it isn't real. Do you
So-
stand up to much scrutiny?
So what if we went and did a diversion, and if we tried to, like, two of us, and then we made ourselves invisible, we swing back from over where that fire is back over here, and then we go right back down to meet you, and you can wait outside of the secret entrance in case we run into any trouble, but otherwise we can meet you there, and they'll be far enough they can't see.
He kind of shrugs. He says, "I don't know. I mean, that might work, but I mean, really, if we just wait right here, we can ambush them as soon as they get close, or we can, move a little bit and set up the best ambush we can and jump out all at once to see if we can blitz them as best we can and then run."
That's not a bad option. We could do something similar to like we did before, or we can get on the broom and make ourselves invisible, but we don't have any whiskey to throw down. Oh, I did get some lamp oil. we could douse one in fire, or lamp oil, and light them on fire. Maybe from a higher up distance this time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the dead usually don't fare too well against fire. That's probably a good idea.
And I think we could probably even drop the oil on them without losing our invisibility. We could probably stay invisible, so maybe we have enough to get both of them. Ooh, I'm getting.
We'll need to be careful if you guys are intending on going up above this tree line. Those things up there, and he gestures up at the flying creatures. Those are keeping a close eye as it is. We'll have to make this as little draw as possible so that we don't pull their attention.
But maybe we don't want to cause a big fire.
Yeah, that's probably going to draw their attention, or a giant sound.
I'm going to patiently smack my hoof against the ground because I haven't been able to drive this far.
Oh shit! Well, so you had 6 hours total, and you're coming near the end of it. Because I mean, you intended to run for 6 hours, so like that could be dropping at any moment. Are you okay? Are you going to wait it out, or are you going to intentionally drop it?
I'm gonna try and wait it out, but
Okay.
like if we could get through the entrance, that would be great. So that way that we don't have to worry about this thing, and if they do end up catching us, at least we still have the fort.
I'm going to go ahead and drop your wild shape into. Bring your wild shape up, Fox, and I'm going to drop you into the combat tracker, and I'll put the ball on there for you. What's that?
So, did Norak, did you say that you think you know one of the people there?
Might possibly. Looks like somebody I used to know. So.
Do you think there's any chance that we could... do we have any way of communicating with the people? Because the people aren't undead, they're just normal starving people. Maybe we could get them to help out.
From what we've seen of those things, they're pretty much far into insanity.
Oh,
They're
alright.
Starved and crazed. I don't think they're going to be too reasonable. So, I mean, we can try, but we got to be ready to, get attacked because I don't think they're even going to listen to us.
I'm going to send you a note, 2G.
Okay.
So, are we gonna fight these guys, or are we gonna try a diversion? The diversion, just to let you know, I can make a loud explosion sound, or what else can I do?
Yeah, but we don't want to draw attention.
Well, that's the thing. How the sound can only be heard. Like, even if the flying things come down, they're not gonna. They might not. Like, how long do you think it would take one of them to get down to where we're at? How far away are they?
Give me a intelligence check. If you're proficient in survival, you can use that.
Or intelligence. Same.
Actually, you get half of your proficiency, so you get a +1 on top of that.
Oh.
Oh. Why is that? I mean, because you're jack of all trades.
I only have a +1 on the skill itself, and I also have a +1
Oh, well, you hit
on
save.
my overall.
That's because you hit save, actually.
What? Oh, I did. Damn it! One week, it's all it takes to completely forget how this shit works.
Yeah. It'd be a +2 for a total of 20. So it's fine. We'll just use you'll use your D or the dice roll. Just
that was still a save. What am I clicking? Oh,
the left side. Or if you're on your actions tab, it'd be the top column is checks, the bottom column saves.
That's what I wanted.
Distance wise, if one of them were to be drawn this direction, it might take 30 seconds to get here.
Oh shit. Well, they're
big.
They're probably gonna. I feel like they're gonna come no matter what, guys. They're 30 seconds away.
Well, remember, you guys, like, even from here, you're kind of behind a little bit of a hill, so you can't actually see Dunskathak right now, and all of the, the surrounding forces that are around it, but they're not looking, all around. They're kind of flying mostly over Dunskathak and all of the amassed Vabian Legion that's there. So, basically, there's people moving everywhere, and unless there's, a lot of bright light or noise or something like that, then they may not get there. They may not notice.
Okay, I've got 2 questions. One.
So they are. You know what? Actually, go ahead. And they're still moving. So I'm going to go ahead and move them up while you're discussing. What's your question?
Okay. Well, one of the questions was actually that where they were now.
Yeah.
The second one is, do we have exhaustion yet?
No, not yet. It would be basically as soon as you would have finished. So you can kind of make it through the night, but when you should have slept by the time that's over is when you would start to be screwed.
Okay.
So, basically it's 1 a.m., so probably 4 or 5 more hours, that's when exhaustion's going to kick in. For having not slept tonight.
Can we see where they're going?
Yeah, you can see them moving. You can tell that they're coming towards us, like this direction.
And we're basically just hiding.
Yeah, well, you know what? So it's up to you. I mean, they're going to see you if you don't do something about it.
I'm gonna be hiding pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, Prince would have yelled at you to get behind something and hide. So if you're going to, go ahead and give me a stealth check, everybody. And if you've got plans, then now's the time.
All right.
Oh, natural 1.
Doesn't matter. Let's just do that one more time.
Sorry, which one was it?
Stealth check.
I gotta start using this dice tower. So I mean, whisper in then. So should we wait or should we go somewhere else to ambush them? Because I'm too scared of making a diversion and getting one of those big flying bastards down here.
Yeah, I think we should just ambush them. Just a matter of where.
Whisper. We gotta whisper. There's fucking dinosaurs about. I don't know enough about dinosaurs to know if they've got a good sense of hearing.
Arteme, I'm going to use your regular token. I'm going to move your regular token. Oh, did you just see the bull?
I just saw it and I was like, the fuck is that?
It's a big-ass bull trying to hide. Let me change your size real quick. There we go.
Well, the good news is, they'll just kind of... They'll just think you're a bull. Alright.
Didn't mean to do that.
For your wild shape 2 fox, hit your temp HPs and everything for it, because you're going to be using the bull stats for this. So, do you remember how to do that?
No.
Go to your wild shape sheet.
Okay.
Hit the magnifying glass to the right of the animal form Aurochs. Specifically the one that says exclamation point Aurochs. Okay. There will be a heal that says 4d10 plus 16 temporary. Hit that.
Also,
Okay.
okay.
Go ahead.
Should we head to the west? Closer, maybe behind these rocks?
You mean east?
No, to is this no west, right?
Right would
West?
be east. No,
Yeah,
right
left.
would be east.
So
Oh,
our
okay.
character's right, our screen's left,
Okay.
west
All
on the
right.
screen.
Well,
are these
here, okay.
rocks?
Here, draw.
What-
yeah, over. Do
What
you mean
are
going
these?
that direction?
Yeah, what are these things right around there? Are those rocks?
No, those are bushes.
Oh, bushes.
Now okay, so here, like that's a rock.
Okay.
There are rocks around. Like this is a rock right here. Prince is standing behind a rock. That's one right there.
Okay.
These are like headstone style rocks, but big big chunks of stone. But most of the things that you're seeing are like dead bushes and brush.
So, should we start moving at least towards the secret entrance to maybe cut them off there? What do you guys want to do? Okay.
Are they? Is one of them headed towards the secret entrance, or are they like circling around? to
They're
them?
well, yeah, they would have moved more. So you guys better come up with something quickly because they're going to end up on you so soon. They're coming around this big circle,
I see.
and it looks like they're just coming back towards on the other side of it, but they're moving your direction.
So
I think we need to take these big fucking things out first.
yeah.
All right.
I'll tell you too that the Albashar don't look very
Guys.
strong.
I'm.
Like, they don't look tough. The Mortrolis do look. For Fox, the Mortrolis that are on there look a lot more aware and conscious than the ones you usually see.
So
Okay.
before we get into this battle, I have something I'd like to do to you. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a blessing. All right, this is gonna help out. But I gotta remember how to actually select you. Oops. Nope.
You have
Made
Sarah
you-
and Togo
made you-
targeted.
No, I made her token
Oh,
larger. I didn't know I could do that. I went to just scroll with the mouse wheel,
yeah.
and I made a. Okay, so. So I have to actually.
Is there a
Touch
limit to the
them,
number
I
of people
think.
you can use with
Oh,
it?
no,
Yeah, I
30
think it's touch, but yeah, but is there a limit to the number of people you can bless? Bless up to
so
3
when I do this
creatures.
second level.
Okay,
I can cast
one additional creature.
additional for each slot level.
Yeah.
Actually, I think because the beginning is 3, so I can
It starts with
cast
3. Yeah.
4. Nora. No, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's if I cast it level 2.
If you casted it right now, you have 5 people selected, including yourself, which means you'd have to use a level 3
1,
slot.
2, 3, 4. All right, I'm actually going to not select myself,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Bless on everyone. Do I just hit both then?
Yep. The concentration. Oh, that one's loud.
It
The
is
concentration
concentration.
effect, yeah, it's just on yourself, and then the rest of the effects are the ones that would apply to everybody else. So you did it right. Cool.
All right, I was worried about this. I'm gonna put some of that. If I still have 1 minute left, I'm gonna put some of that oil of sharpness on Vulcan
Okay.
because it still gives me a +3 to attack and damage, even though I'm already magical, of course, but still bonus damage. So
Yep. All right. Mark that down to 4 uses of it.
sweet.
So
And
should
we'll just
we-
remember another +3 when we roll, or what?
No, you hit when you're about to roll your damage, you click the effect on there.
Okay.
And I don't think I have it set to. Yeah, it lasts for 1 hour. Just go ahead and click the effect now.
Okay.
It'll automatic. You don't have to do it every time. You'll just if you do it now, it'll automatically apply to all your hits.
Liam.
We just have to make sure that if you're using anything other than Vulcan, that we take it off.
Okay.
All right. Should we sneak down closer so we can get an area of it to get an attack ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm casting mage armor on myself.
Okay. These guys have moved up. They are height-wise. The mouth of these things you estimate is probably up about 15 feet. So it's pretty much like legs are what you've got access to for the raptor-like creatures. Obviously, the Mortrolis are atop their backs, so they're not in easy reach. Ben, I'll tell you that the one that looks familiar to you is labeled Albashar 3.
All right, then I'm also going to tell the team, if you guys can, try to save the one that I'll describe her for last of the more.
Okay, she's the one that she's the furthest one away. She's this one, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go ahead and what do you want to roll a memory check?
Okay.
Is there any way we could pretend that I cast that more right before we went into battle?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. We'll say that you kind of held off, as soon as everybody was about to pounce.
Yeah, I thought we had got a plan going. Apparently, I think I was wrong.
No, I think you do. Just Ben was saying that at the last second here. You remember her name was Sorsha.
Okay.
I just identified her, so she's on her name will be Sorsha in the combat tracker. Okay. All right, everybody, give me initiative.
Doom, doom, doom.
Now let's see if this fucking thing crashes again. I wonder. So there's a couple possibilities because I had. Oh shit. It is an ability check.
Oh, I have my thing for one, don't I?
Oh, you do. Yeah, you have your own. Yeah, I was gonna say that Justin could do it for you from Pogo, but yeah, you can reroll one. So you can reroll your own ones. You just can't do it for other people because he picked a different sub-race than you did. All right. What was the... Oh, it's a separate 18 for Sai, Fox?
Yes.
Okay, let me get her on here for you. There you go.
So if anyone's curious, blessing lets you... Does it do it all automatically with the blessing?
Yeah. Go ahead and tell everybody what it does, though, because I don't think they use it.
So you actually get to roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or your saving roll. So basically... roll like normal, then add a d4 roll to attacks and saving rolls.
It'll actually roll it automatically.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Fantasy Grounds will do it for you. But basically, any attack rolls, you have an extra d4 chance of it hitting, and any saves, you have a d4 chance of being successful at the saves. An extra on top of what you otherwise would have had. So. All right. Did you guys hide? I had you guys hide. Did you roll?
We stealth.
Yeah, we rolled for stealth.
Oh, stealth. Okay, all right. Let's see then. Oh, that's right. You re-rolled the one because of it. I was gonna say you rolled it twice, Justin.
Pogo doesn't get ones.
That's fair. You rolled a lot better on the second one. But there's a certain passive number that would not have been sufficient. This one here. The B, the one that's a little bit closer, as it's coming through the brush here and kind of pushing trees out of the way and stomping over things, knocking these dead trees down, is coming straight towards this, and everybody else seems to be relatively hidden, but it seems to see a giant black bull trying to hide in the bushes like a wishing tail of a big black. You got a 4 on your stealth check on the bull because just a bull isn't very an oryx isn't very stealthy. And immediately it makes an ear-piercing screeing sound and comes rushing towards that through. It has a shit.
What did the bull ever do to you?
It would be hazardous terrain, so it won't be able to get its full 60 feet, but it can get close enough. It's going to crash through the brush here and immediately take a bite towards the bull here for a 21, which hits. For 16, yeah, it didn't roll real great. So, and then brings one of its open claws down, where also it hits. It's absorbed because you're 10 HP stuff from the bull. Okay. And the Mortrolis, it's on its back, points down, and its mouth opens in a kind of a almost silent scream, and the Albashar come rushing towards the group here. So on their turn, they can't actually move yet. But all right, that was the Mortrolis' turn as well. Norik's turn.
All right.
That Mortrolis is actually on the Iskill's back, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I'm just putting him next to him because I can't put him on top easily. Oh, I gotta reload the map. Whoops.
In my oh so common phrase, I will rage.
I would like to rage. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, I added some custom sounds in for you guys too.
Oh, I can't wait for mine!
Fox, the one for Psy, I didn't get in yet. Actually, I tried to find one, but the yipping sound was the volume isn't right. It was super loud, and it was like a little bit ear piercing because it's a fox yip. So,
Yeah.
but I'll get that one working for you too.
Okay.
Let's see if I can bash the giant lizard over here. Oh, jeez.
That misses, even with your bless.
I don't know.
+4 still? Oh.
That sucks. Alright, try again. Yikes.
That one hits. There you go.
Oh, good.
So you bring the first one down, and it's one-legged, like the claw, the leg that it's in front of, had just stomped out of the way as it reached forward to slash at the bull, the aurochs there, and you missed with the first one, and then brought it up towards its knee, cleaving. Oops, damn. Pretty good hit too, into its exposed knee. It sinks in through the this long dead flesh, and you feel the axe head scrape against the bone as you pull the axe blade out. It is free. There we go. Sorry, I got a text there. All right, that's it. What are you doing? Any bonus actions?
I actually already boned, so.
Oh, for your rage. Okay. Sergeant Prince.
All right, Prince! I didn't actually say that, by the way. I'm still hiding. I'm very small.
He shouts just a kind of a crowblinder's war cry and steps 1 foot up on top of this stone, trying to jump through the air and swing his scimitar down at the Iskill here. Let's see if he makes a.
I'm really disappointed that you didn't have a Prince-sounding war cry, like something from Prince.
I've always actually hated Prince. I don't like I never.
You're just jealous of his feminine attraction.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's that he's too feminine, and that makes me jealous.
And I think the most strange thing is that he was a sect symbol, and he
I never understood it. That's what
I never really got it either. But I think it was the mustache. I think that was like Samson's hair.
Okay,
Just in
what
his-
are you
Oh,
guys
my
talking about?
How old are you?
Yeah, she's probably too young to know who Prince is
How old are you,
Yeah.
Fox?
or was.
Not
What's
saying,
happening?
but I really don't get any of any reference at all.
She never does.
Prince was practically from Canada. He was from Minnesota.
There you go.
That's not Canada.
That's
No
Canada.
no wonder he was so effeminate, right?
Fair. I don't know, man. I've seen some Canadians. They look pretty non-feminine. They look like they'd kick my ass. I mean, they're very nice, but they're like some
they
country
weren't,
boys.
So. All right, it is Sai's turn. So I do anything, Fox? Oh, I guess I got to put her on the track or on the combat. Whatever.
Yeah, she would have to be on the.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
she's gonna try and distract.
Okay, where are you sending her? I just put her next to the bull there. Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna try and distract.
Is she like running around his feet or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's very
gonna-
like zipping around his feet, and then she's paying attention to not get stepped on. So if he's about to step on her, she'll just run back.
Okay. Go ahead and apply. It's on your main sheet. Apply the side distraction to the skill there.
I did.
Oh,
I thought I did.
no, you did. Sorry, I didn't even see it. All right, that is it for her turn then, right?
Yep.
All right, then it is the other's turn. It is going to similarly roar and go rushing at, and it actually has mostly clear space, so it's going to go. Let me lock the tokens. Actually, that'll be easier again if that works. Yeah. Does it hold shift? How did you do the movement thing, guys? Do you remember?
Not even a little bit. I couldn't even remember what to click on.
I think you just click on the token and try to move it.
Okay, then it's different for me because I can actually move them.
Yeah, because basically what we did is we clicked on the token, we did the path, and then you had to accept it. So for your side.
Okay. Okay, so this one, that's about as far as it can make it.
Ah!
Just storming through the brush. It follows the path there.
I do not like
it's
this.
It actually wasn't running towards you guys. It doesn't know that you're there yet, presumably, because you both rolled high enough on your stealth that right now it doesn't know you exist, which means that if you can keep it that way, then your first attack will be an advantage. So keep that in mind.
Unless it fucking steps on us.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it as soon as it knows you're there, you don't get that advantage. But if a creature doesn't know where you are and you attack it, you get advantage on the attack. and Mortrolis. Wait, hang on. Did I switch those two? Yep, I did. I gotta switch these back. Sorry. That one similarly shouts to the Albashar that are with it, and they come rushing up the path along behind him. There they are. And that is, by the way, the one of the ones that, well, that's the one that Norak said that he recognized. All right, it is Pogo's turn.
Can you describe exactly, like, Pogo's gonna try to peek around a little bit and look at what these big things are now that he's got a closer look.
Okay.
Are they wearing metal armor or?
There are plates on it. You can't. Okay, if you're gonna try to get a good enough look to identify the like a weak spot, is that what you're looking for?
No, I'm looking for a giant piece of metal that I can cast on.
Okay.
I want to use heat metal, but I don't know if they've got a large piece of metal on them.
You know what? I would say that you had enough time while they were still approaching before you guys ducked behind the stones that you had enough time to kind of look at it to see whether, basically, if you had this idea in mind, you could have identified it at that point. I'll tell you that the what little light there is was not reflecting off of the plates that are on it. They look like heavy, like thick plates, but they didn't look like metal.
All right, and same for the one riding it, the Mortrellis?
No, the Mortrollis are wearing chain. They're wearing like a chain shirt, both of them.
Pogo's a bard, right?
Yep.
He is a bard.
Okay, just wondering, because there's some spells he has that I have as access to as a druid, so I'm just like, I guess some of the spells cross over between more.
They do! Oh wait, I can't do
Gotcha.
heat metal, I've got concentration up, so never mind.
Oh yeah, that's his concentration. Yeah.
Ooh, do I want to do this, or do I want to wait? Okay, I'd like to... I'm gonna go ahead and hold my rapier, and I'm gonna stay behind this rock, and I'd like to just... Because if I cast Spiritual Banjo, this is gonna see me casting that spell, isn't it?
You're small and low enough to the ground that it's not. Let's see. Where's Spiritual
Because
Banjo
it's not
at?
casting next to me, casting it away from me.
Okay. You can cast it at range of 60 feet. If you were to cast it behind him, for example, or something like that, he may not see it. Now the Albashar would, and the Mortrollis might, because he's able to spin around. This Iskil is.
Oh no,
running
I
towards the
mean
bowl.
see me, not the banjo. I don't care if they see the banjo.
What you do, there might be a very small amount of light between your hands where you casted it. But you could potentially just hold your hands towards the ground when you do because it's a verbal and somatic are the components for it. So
Sure.
basically, as long as you whisper it and move your hands near the ground, let's say, then you could probably hide it enough that the flash wouldn't be visible. And then the banjo could be behind him or wherever you choose to
So
put
what
it.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna curl back behind this stone, and I'm going to go ahead and say my magic words, and I'm going to cast Spiritual Banjo as my bonus action.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna cast it right behind this. Actually,
The one
yeah,
that's
I'm
in
gonna
front of
cast it right behind. No, I'm gonna go ahead and cast it. Oh, I can't. Can I not pick that up?
Because I locked the token.
Oh,
where you want to move it to?
Right behind the other.
Right there.
Yeah, right behind the other one, but within attacking range.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast that. That's level 2. And 2.
And it hits.
Oh no, this is just a cast. I'm sorry.
Well, that cast is there's no when you cast it, that is the attack for it. There's no chance of you failing casting that.
Oh.
Basically.
Okay, I thought it was I had to use one bonus action to cast it, and then one bonus action to use it on my next turn.
To make an attack with it. I think when you cast it, you get to make an attack. You create a floating blah blah blah. When you cast the spell, you can make a melee attack against the creature. So it's a bonus action to cast it, but
same.
you do get the attack with it. Yeah.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
that 15, assuming you were trying to hit the Iskil, right?
Yep, I'm trying to hit Iskil right as hard as I can.
Iskil B. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, 15 does hit him, so go ahead.
Fantastic. Did I not roll for damage? I did not.
You roll the cast, go and roll the damage. There you go.
That makes me happy in the cuckles of my heart.
There you go.
So now I'm just going to ready my weapon, if this other Iskall or the Mortrulis, or I'm sorry, if pretty much anything comes within range over next to me, I'm going to prepare my weapon and hope that nothing fucking does.
Okay. All right. Then that takes your reaction to prepare that.
Yep.
Along with your action, but you did use your bonus action as the spiritual banjo, so you're all set there. Then, and you're not moving, so all right, Sarah's turn. You do see the bull beside you is like ripped to shreds. It's like the Iskall took a big chunk out of its back, so it's basically just its spine with two big gaping wounds on either side of it, and then a raked claw that ripped through its neck. So the Aurochs is in very bad shape already. Of course, you do know that once it falls, that Artemis will just be back to her normal self. But the Iskall tore her up pretty bad. Well, it's not.
You don't
so,
have to, though, right?
Yeah, it's not. No, so that's basically like it. What I'm saying is that it hit very hard. So these things are certainly dangerous. They don't look to be super healthy, but if they can get a hold of you, it's bad news.
Right,
Bad news, bears.
I'm going to well, first off, as a bonus action, I'm going to bring up Shannon.
Okay.
On this guy.
All right, let me put her on here for you.
Right.
There you go. What's that? Right behind him?
Right. Yeah.
All right. Oh, let me make her visible for you. There you go.
Alright, so that's my bonus.
Okay.
Oh, wait, she needs to...
Does she get to... Oh, I guess it just comes up when it's her turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She did 4.
Okay.
D20?
Well, she rolled... Well, go ahead and roll the initiative. Go ahead and I'll change it, yeah. She rolled a 13 anyway, so she was on the same initiative order, but her modifier is a +2, so go ahead and roll a d20. Alright, so 6. So she won't be coming up next, but she is coming up soon.
That's fine. Alright, and then... Because... Did I already drop the disadvantage on him? No. Did I do that wrong?
I saw you cast it, and I see Hound of Shadow up on you. What is it that you're... What disadvantage portion of it? Just because he's hunting her? Yeah, that's on him. It's on his skill.
I'll get disadvantage for myself.
Or she's hitting brother? Yeah.
I'm going to get this guy.
So that one, yeah, okay, if you're going to cast a spell now, then you did it exactly right.
Yeah. He's not the only one, though. So,
okay.
I'm going to cast Slow on these 4.
Okay. The 2 Mortrulis and the 2 Iskall?
Hopefully it'll work.
Okay.
Why was there...
Uh-oh.
I love when someone says "uh-oh."
Fantasy Realms just crashed.
Oh no! Uh-oh.
I can still... Well, I got a message that says it crashed, but I don't... Hang on.
I'm still working.
No,
I'm
it
still
says...
Me too.
I think Sirenscape is what crashed. It says the game crashed, but it's a Fantasy Realms icon. I'll come back to that in just a second, because I can still scroll through these, but as far as the slow... Let's see. It's Iskall A failed, Mortrulis B failed,
Nice.
Iskall B succeeded, and Mortrulis A succeeded. So,
that's cool. So when they succeed, it automatically untargeted them.
oh yeah, that's one of the settings. Yeah,
Awesome.
you can just apply the effect, and it'll apply it to the right people. There you go. Yeah, it was just Sirenscape that crashed. Okay, well, that will mess up the sounds. I wonder if that's... I assume it has to do because I put the custom sounds in there. So I'm going to relaunch it, but because it's on the wrong sound channel now. And Justin was right. It's definitely more sound issues than normal anyways lately, certainly.
all audio.
Yep.
Which
All
is
right.
weird, right? Of all the things that computers do, like
Well,
the sound. Come on.
yeah, it's not very complicated. Well, normally it isn't, but the sound setup that I use for these is very complicated. I have multiple virtual sound devices that are trying to pipe it through different places so that the recording gets it correctly, and that the so basically to have the auto-triggered sounds, that has to be on a separate, like a virtual sound card that doesn't really exist. And between that and a program called Voice Meter to pipe everything in together, it's it's at least there's more moving parts basically, so there's more room for failure there. But that is back up. Let's see if you... Yep, I don't hear that at all. Okay. I think I can fix that real quick. I should be able to. Let me do that just real quick, just as a test. All right, so your slow is applied to them. Is that it for any movement or anything?
Is Pogo still in the room with me?
No, I'm hiding behind a
He's
rock.
hiding behind the rock. So, I mean, if you're on the... I've used stealth, so I assume that you would jump behind the rock. I should have asked specifically. But if you're on the broom, you're immediately visible. Like, these things are coming right at you if that's the case. You're a floating snack right in their face, so...
Alright, well then I rolled a stealth check, so on the ground. So let's see. And I'm assuming casting that spell they would have seen me, correct?
Don't fucking let them know what I am! Please!
What were the components for the spell?
Verbal, somatic,
And material?
Yeah, all three of them.
Slow, we haven't specifically described any, any flare or anything like that, so I would say that you, with your stealth check, because you rolled decently, would still be able to keep that hidden. Obviously, you were intending to try to hide, so you wouldn't have given yourself away on purpose.
Right, then I'll stay where I am.
Okay.
Us tiny fuckers got to stay together.
All right.
Good luck, Norok!
the Albashar are like groaning, obviously in pain and hunger, and are rushing straight towards the only food they can see, which happens to be at the moment Prince is the closest to this one. 5. He will rush towards Prince and first actually has to make this. Which he failed, is immediately like he's. It's clear that he like looks sickened slightly by the presence of this thing, and the Albashar just reaches towards his arm where Prince was about to or had slashed rather into the Iskil here, and the Mortrolis bites into that arm. Fucking A! I didn't realize I could hit that hard. And he has to make another con save then. And you see Sergeant Prince freeze solid in place, like his body begins to go rigid as soon as this thing bites into his arm, and he's just kind of stood there with his arm extended, still reaching towards the Albashar, or towards the Iskil rather. That is her. Make it to here, running through the brush. Artemis' turn.
Okay. Since I'm so badly injured, I'm going to revert back, trying not to let the Alderrock squish me.
Okay. Where I would say that you're you can feel it on your back, so you know exactly where it is. You could basically, as you're shifting, move yourself forward, and it would fall on the ground behind you. If that's your goal. Yeah, their tokens are still locked for.
Okay, I would move a bit away before.
Okay, as soon as you. Oh, okay. Before you do it, then. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna move over there and then revert.
All right. There you go.
And I think reverting is it's a bonus action.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take your wild shape token off then, and your. What was the initiative that you rolled for the bowl? Do you remember? It was probably like a 7 because it was after Sorsha before Albashar 11, so that'd have been like that. Right. And let's move you back over here. Take the bowl off. Was it a 9? Okay. Okay. There you are. Make that a 9. There you go. And I'll drop the Alderrock behind you on the map as well. Okay, so that was your bonus action and 15 feet of your movement. What are you doing?
Can I get a 30-foot radius circle?
You can draw it. 30-foot radius circle?
20.
So 60-foot circle? Oh, 20 foot, okay. Still a good size circle.
Is the circle locked?
Does it not let you move it?
It's not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. All right, I'm gonna lock them.
Yeah, let's turn this off. This is driving me insane.
Yeah,
I'm not even doing it. It's driving me insane.
Yeah, like there's some things that it would be nice if you could do without locking them. Like that movement pathing thing really needs to be doable without having to lock the tokens.
Okay, there we go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Spectra.
Okay.
Right there. It's gonna
All
hit all of these.
Let's see. Let me grab your token for that. I think I made this token a little easier to work with too. I did. Good. There you go. I'm gonna delete your colored circle, and then that'll cover the area like that, so that it's not hitting Prince. Is what you're trying for?
Not hitting Prince or Norak or
Okay.
Sai, of course, because
Because you don't want to kill your own pet.
yeah, or allies either.
All right. Go ahead and put the effect up and cast it on the. Let's see. That is both of those Albashar. So that's Albashar 21 and 7. Iskill B. Mortrolis. That's Mortrolis B is on the Iskill's back, so he won't be hit by it. He's in the field. He just won't be affected by it unless he's knocked off of the Iskill.
Sorry, can you repeat
It is Albashar 7 and 21, and Iskill B.
that work? No, that doesn't.
That was a save. So have them targeted.
No, I
They don't.
tried
Yeah,
targeting.
they don't need to make the save. Oh, I guess because the field is in the way. Go ahead.
Okay, that's one. Gotcha, there we go, okay.
They don't. The save is just to see if they, walk into it or not. So for those guys, it would just be the damage. So just apply the damage to Albashar 21, Albashar 7, and Iskill B, but not Mortrolis B. Sorry, dog. I just dropped a mouse pad on a dog. Alright. Did that apply to all of them? Yeah, I guess it did. Okay. So you guys see the area around them, the grass, and what's that?
Can I literally cry? Look at the thing.
I didn't even actually look at it. Hang on. It's supposed to be 2d4. Oh, equals 2. I thought it was plus. So so 2 natural ones, of course, on the damage. But I mean, it's better than nothing. And the Albashar don't look very healthy anyway. So I mean, they're that doesn't really hurt them very much, but they're not super healthy at least.
And at least doesn't that also create difficult terrain?
Yeah, exactly. So if they're moving through it,
they'll take more damage, which is why I was trying not to put it on friendly.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And so it's difficult terrain. They'll move half speed through it, and then also every step they take damage as they're moving through it. All right, is that it for Artemis' turn?
Yeah, so I already used my gun.
Okay, I'm gonna take carrying Olderok off of you so that you're not half speed, and then it's just you just left it on the ground sitting behind you. So.
Well, I'm not actually gonna move. I'm gonna take it with me if I do move.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get another fishing from. He's enough an access is. Thank
All right.
you.
15, 20. I'm gonna make an intelligence check on a very sickly Albashar here to see if it would recognize that Shan's not real. Natural 7, no. So this Albashar rushes towards Shan, who is immune to the stench, so that won't work there, but he's going to try to bite her. For a 7, which misses. Except I accidentally just dropped the damage on stealth, so I didn't do anything. There we go. All right, Shan's turn.
Becky will be there in a second.
Okay. We will come back then as she's doing that. So, 21. Oh, go ahead, Becky. It's Shan's turn.
Alright. So, she's just going to fight this guy. Where's this?
Where's what?
Oh, never mind. Forget it.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, thankfully the first roll or the actual dice are max damage, but didn't roll so well on the actual rolls. Still a good hit though.
Yeah, I think that's all she has. So.
All right.
Oh. Wait, did it make the saving throw see if it's not prone?
Does it automatically do that? What's the DC?
18. Strength saving throw.
It does not automatically roll it, so go ahead and, is there... Oh, do you have it on your sheet? Did I put that on your sheet or no?
Oh, yep, there it is. I think.
She got a 9. Does not succeed. So Shan rushes forward and grabs the back leg of this Iskil that was, rushing, leaping forward on its 2 feet. She grabs the back foot of it, causing the Iskil to tip forward and slam its jaw first flat onto the ground. You hear a crunch in the back leg as the leg is kind of pressed in a direction that it shouldn't go. As it smashes into the ground, that crunching sound is probably breaking bone, is what it sounds like. It is knocked prone, tipped forward like this, skids across the ground until its nose is right in front of Sarah.
Oh shit! It knocked the stone down.
Well, it pushed through enough of it that it's no. Well, I mean, it can't see you, but it's like right on the right on the other side. What's that?
Since I was holding my weapon as a reaction,
yeah,
it's
right in front of you.
Head now that it's right through it. My rapier.
Yep, give it.
All right, how do I do a reaction attack
You
like that?
just do your normal attack.
Normal attack, but it definitely hits.
No, it doesn't definitely hit. You still have to make the attack. You do have advantage though because it's knocked prone.
Yeah.
Becky, do you have the prone effect to drop on him from Shan, or do you want me to do it? You may not have it.
Maybe.
Doesn't he also have advantage because it was a ready action?
No, you don't get advantage for that. But he actually does get advantage. Well, okay, so he would have advantage anyways because the Iskil didn't know he was there.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have had it for that, but there's no stacking advantage anyways. The ability you have, Fox, is the only way to get to roll super advantage. That Elven advantage thing I was telling you about, that's the only super advantage.
Okay, and that only...
Oh!
That only works if you already have advantage on an attack, Fox. It might... Well, let's look at it real quick. It's basically, if you already have advantage, you get to roll 3 dice for Elven advantage.
Oh, okay.
Or Elven accuracy is what it's called. It's the racial for elves. You have uncanny aim with attacks that rely on precision rather than brute force. You gain the following benefits. Whenever you have advantage on a roll that uses attack roll that uses dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, you can re-roll one of the dice once, which means you can roll 3 times total. But that means that some of your spells are technically attack rolls that use those as well. Basically, if you have... Yeah, so if any of your spells, if you already have advantage, your spells that are not save-based, you would get to roll 3 times. So just don't forget that. That's an important ability that you have that I don't think you've ever used. So it's just a good one to remember. Right. That did hit though for a tiny poke in its nose. It now knows that you're there. There was a pain sound as it crashed into the ground with that crunching. So it looks like it's injured, but it is very angry and very close to your guys' faces. So that is it for Shan's turn. She can still move, right? She can only move towards the target, Becky?
Yeah.
All right. Did you want her to keep moving then, or leave her where she is?
Oh, right, because it's still her turn. So yeah,
Yeah.
she'll run right up behind him.
Okay. Then it is 21's turn, who is in the field here. Still out of starvation, I don't think it would stop. I think it would still try to go after, despite it, knowing that it's going to be injuring itself. It's going to keep moving through this glass field. 30 feet, so it can only go 15. It can only make it to 21, so it made it to here. So go ahead and roll 3 times on Albashar 21, Fox, for your spike growth.
Like the other two.
Did the Iskil A, did that get knocked prone, or is that just still on its legs?
No, its jaw is on the floor.
Okay.
And it broke, and one of its back legs was broken. So basically, the dog. What's that?
And Sorsha?
Yeah.
Is that the Mortrilus that's riding it, or
No, the Mortrilus is actually. So I just got to move him. He's the Mortrilus A is still on its back.
it's just I guess the token can't move.
Exactly. I can't put the token on top of it. Actually the new version that's coming, that October 28th, it has layering, so I'll be able to actually stack tokens then. But as it is now, I'm just putting the Mortrilus beside them so that it shows that they're, next to it, but and operating with it as far as their initiatives.
Right. Okay.
Need some help, Fox? There you go. Yeah, there you go. And then just roll the damage on him from spike row 3 times. Okay, so that one is trying to step its way around this, trying to make its way to the only food it can see, which is Norok, and it collapses forward into the hardened grass and twigs, just essentially turned into glass, basically. Falls forward and is still jittering. It's still moving, with these kind of impaled upon the glass spikes there. That is it for its turn. It is Samson's turn.
Is this Samson's first fucking turn?
Yeah.
God, and he thinks I'm lazy.
There's a lot of well, I mean, everybody's only had one turn so far.
Yeah, there's 19 fucking people.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bunch of things moving. It is rushing towards to try to run to Sergeant Prince's help here. Prince, by the way, Norok, you see that he's like he looks like he's paralyzed. With this Albashar is just chewing on him with chewing on his arm, and he can't move. Samson is going to try to. In fact, actually, he's going to rush towards the Albashar instead and try to cleave at the one that's biting on his sergeant here, which definitely hits. Not enough. Oh shit! It was enough to kill him. Cleaves through the arm, leaving the arm that was still holding onto Prince as he was biting into him. Cleaves through that, and basically the arm and the neck, leaving the head there. The head just plops off to the ground, and he stands back up and is going to use the rest of his movement to try to go towards the Iskill. And that is it for his turn. Everybody make perception checks.
Oh shit. Why do I keep clicking on the wrong damn thing?
Don't worry, I do that all the time. I'm rolling this check, and then he's like, oh, that's the wrong one. And I rolled good on the check that's wrong, and then when I roll the actual check, it's
Damn
like
it! I forgot to put
the lowest number.
Yeah, it does happen pretty often for Fox.
I bet it happens all the time. By the way, how old are you? Still curious.
We've narrowed it down among some other friends. We've narrowed it down to mid-20s, I think it was.
Because I feel like if you don't know Prince, she might be 16 years old.
No, she's just.
There's a
isolated.
chance.
She just.
No, I'm just literally oblivious to most things.
I feel like that would be
Seriously.
funny in conversation. Like one day you're like, let's have a grilled cheese. And she's like, a grilled what? I've
Okay,
never
that
heard
is
of this.
not-
I've never heard of
I know
this.
how to make 2 different kinds of grilled cheese.
I've
So I'm
never.
good.
How do you grill cheese? That's so strange.
Wow. No,
It's
you
like
could-
poutine, but with bread.
okay.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Fox.
So
She's
you
gonna
can
talk
make
shit.
2
She's
different
talking
kinds of
shit.
grilled cheese. No, you can make 2 different kinds of grilled cheese. You can make grilled cheese in the oven or on a or frying
what?
pan, whichever you prefer.
I bet you could even make 3 kinds. You could use a blowtorch.
Well, okay, theoretically you
Or
can toast the bread
The
and then in the toaster.
The Germans make grilled cheese with a flamethrower. And
This all sounds like magic to me.
A flamethrower, really.
yeah,
Okay, so there's,
Luften waften.
I guess so there would probably be more than like 3 ways to make grilled cheese, but the extremely lazy way is you toast the bread in the toaster and then you put the cheese while it's still warm to grill, so the bread is basically melting the cheese.
Oh, that's some hobo ass shit right there.
But, okay,
That's like one step above on top of your engine of your car.
All right, but to be fair, that's probably the only way that I could pull off. So if I was going to have grilled cheese, that might be the way I
oh
would.
no, okay. The other way you could actually pull it off, Raph, would probably be your oven has a broil function.
It does.
Okay, so yes, it does. So basically, when you do broil, you leave the door open a tiny bit, but it only warms up the top coil. So what you do is you put the bread in, you toast it a bit, you take it out, you flip it, you put your cheese, and then you put meat on top of it, and then you put it back in, you broil it until it's the meat is cooked and the cheese is melted, and there's your...
At what step does the fire extinguisher come in? Because I'm
None.
always cooking with a fire extinguisher nearby.
Because you literally, when you're doing this, it takes about less than 5 minutes. Because you're literally watching it to make sure it doesn't like boil over.
No, you're literally watching it. I'm doing something else, forgetting that it's there, coming back 45 minutes later, and my kitchen's on fire.
Yeah, your whole kitchen would have burned out by that time.
That's what I'm saying. That's where the problem comes in.
Okay, so basically none of the methods to actually make grilled cheese would work for you.
By the way,
Wait, you can't even spare
can
10
we
minutes
just say-
to make grilled cheese?
How cool was the first guy to like want toast? Where he's like they give him cooked bread, and he's like, "Cook it again. Let's do that one more time." Roundabout.
Oh, you mean because bread is already cooked? Is what you're saying?
It's already cooked, and they're like, "Cook it again."
Eh.
I want it double cooked.
He wants it. You just want it a little bit crunchy. All right. Speaking of crunchy, this giant dinosaur in front of Norok, who just cleaved into its left kneecap, basically, is going to spin its head around right in Norok's face and push you over. G, give me a strength save. You have to beat a 13. Not real hard, but well, that's not super high for him. He has advantage because he's raging.
No, that would ruin Pogo's fucking life.
Yeah, that one claw would just step right through a Pogo. But well, he got a 27, so I think Norok's okay. He pushes into Norok with his claw. Norok, you spin around him so that the front claw, which are not very long, of course, but still have some force behind it, is enough to move you, but it still is going to try to bite down to square over your head. For a 16, which hits. Two things, G. You need to make a... Well, I'm going to do that.
Did it move within the field?
No, well, I mean, it didn't move its legs. It basically tried to push him with its claw, and then tried to bite him, so it hasn't tried to move like its feet, basically, yet.
Okay.
Give me a con save, G, and you have to beat where's the number 14? Not super high. Not with that though. You are immediately like the bite where it sticks or bites into your skin over your shoulder. Is you feel it's kind of sinking into your skin, into the wound there. You're considered poisoned. There you are. And then it is going to... I don't think we've ever heard that one before.
That one sounded new.
Yeah. I didn't put that one in. That was an existing one. And as soon as it kind of rakes its teeth across your skin, just pulling flesh away, it immediately brings in with its right claw to try to bat at you with its other claw that it, not the one it tried to push you with. But it misses with the claw. And that is it for its turn. The Mortrillis up on its back is going to shout to... Oh shit, both... Okay, well it looks over its shoulder looking for its Albashar support, sees that they're not there, and is going to jump down off of the Iskil. He does land in the spikes though, Fox, so go ahead and roll your damage on Mortrillis B. What is that? Is that somebody making...
Someone moving a bucket around?
What's that?
No, sorry, that's me. I'm taking fries out of the air.
Oh, okay. No, you're fine. I was like, is that another auto sound? And it just sounds like somebody...
Where is your computer? You keep your computer in the kitchen?
Well, she's got a wireless headset on when she's cooking.
Hey, look at that roll.
Hey, there you go, Fox.
Yeah,
Good job.
Go from 2 minimums to 2 maximums. Good. He lands into the ground, though, the spikes just jabbing up through his feet, and he is going to rush around, trying to get out of the spikes, but also trying to flank Norok here with its Iskil in front of him. So he'll get a +2 on his attack. Well, he didn't need it. He got a 21 now. For a total of 7. Didn't hit very hard. It's Norok's turn.
Okay.
I gotta fucking work at 3 a.m., guys. 2:30. Yep. Surprise update. They dropped it. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm used to it by now. They dropped an update on Wednesday that I had to have all of my fucking technicians work on Sunday, and we didn't know until Wednesday afternoon.
Ouch.
Yeah, fucking bullshit. They did it to us a few years ago, but seems like it's going to be at least once a month. We'll have to do this for the next short while. Anyways, go ahead, G.
Do I get a +2 because of Prince and Samson?
That's a +1. They're off to the side. If they were on the opposite side, they'd be a +2.
Okay.
Oh, when's Sai's turn again?
Sai is
Next.
coming up. Yeah, well,
Okay, because I was
there's
gonna say I can move her to the back to help Norok, but like I can't. I can only do that after his turn.
well, she was distracting against the Iskil, but somebody already hit. I think it might have been Norok's previous hit. I don't know. Something that tried to hit him that fell off from. It's only for the next action, so whatever the next action was against the Iskil is where it came off. Oh, you know what? It was a slow spell. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah.
I don't see a way to add a +1, so we'll just have to do that manually.
That's fine. 17, that hits.
Okay.
You can do it in that modifier box if you hold down the mouse wheel. Wait, hang on. Is it shift? Hang on. I know you can, with the adjustments box in the bottom left corner, if you just click on it and then press 1, it'll give you adjusting +1 or whatever. You guys see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So
The
if you click-
modifier?
Yeah, where it says modifier, you click on that box and just press a number. And like you could do -1 or you could do +5, whatever. And then whatever's in that box when you roll the next roll, it'll apply that.
Okay.
Why did you have disadvantage on the attack, G?
I didn't notice that I did. Yeah, why did I?
Disadvantage on there, let's see.
To be poisoned.
Oh, from the poison, yeah, shit. Yeah, so
Okay,
the
I didn't even
poison
notice that.
seeping through your veins slows your arm down. The swing is, you're still able to make contact with it, but it definitely seems to have reduced the impact from it. Jesus.
Thanks to the blessing.
Well, the blessing, yeah, but for real, it was actually, because the blessing was a 3, and a 13 would not have hit, I don't think. So he just barely hit. So the blessing definitely helped. But fucking modifier of 21, so even if you roll shitty, still did 24 damage.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, the Iskil's mouth was still right in front of you. You cleave into like kind of a wide swath through its nose where it splits open and breaks the bone beneath it. He looks bloodied for sure. He's not dying, but he's bloodied.
Okay.
That one also hits.
Sweet.
There you go. Much better hit. You bring it back down into the same spot, trying to kind of break open the snout as much as possible, carving through kind of an open cut as it actually goes all the way through the snout, and then your axe kind of passes through almost to the ground before you stand back up. Kind of right yourself. Any bonus actions?
Yet. Yeah.
All right. Sergeant Prince is paralyzed. He cannot move. The bite from the Albashar seems to have locked him in place. Sai's turn.
She's gonna distract the one behind the rock.
Okay. The Mortrolis?
Yeah.
Okay. Is she moving, or is she just like kind of going under his feet? Like trying
She's gonna move around.
Okay. Then I'm gonna put her right here, but we just know that she's basically occupying the same space as him, trying to kind of nip at his heels and everything, trying to distract him. Did you already drop the distraction on him?
Yep.
All right. Cool. Then it is Iskil A's turn. Now, having been jabbed in the nose by Pogo, knocked on the ground and basically right in front of Sarah, it tries to stand, and you see that its back leg, the one that Shan bit into, is not cooperating. It basically is only able to get itself kind of halfway up, and is going to reach forward and try to snap its jaws at... It got poked by Pogo, and Pogo stood up and jabbed it, so I think Pogo would be its first target. For a 13, which misses.
Ha! Fuck you!
I got lucky there. So, and then it's going to kind of reach forward very limply and try to hit it with its claw. It does stand up enough to no longer be prone, but not enough to... God damn it! Fucking made it attack itself.
Ha! Fuck you
There
again!
we go. Whoops, that was the bite. There we go. Reaches forward with its claw, which definitely connects. To
Oh,
Pogo.
wait. Can I use cutting words?
You can. You gotta... Well, go ahead. Okay, read how it works. Do you know... Do I get... Like, basically, do you get to hear the
You
result
don't
of the
tell
number?
me. No. You don't... Well, hold on, let me see. Attack roll individual. You can use your action to spend one of your body concentration roll, extracting the number roll from the creature roll. You chooses to use this feature after the creature makes its roll, but before the DM determines whether... alright. I'll skip that. I was hoping to do it quicker, but
Well, I didn't tell you the number. Go ahead. You can do it if you want to. And I haven't told you the number, so you don't know whether or not you could
Sure.
succeed or not.
that's
I guess
true.
is what I would say.
Yeah, let me still do it just in case.
Sure.
So I'll use a
And
bardic
then mark up
inspiration.
your inspiration. Yeah.
Then so we'll go ahead and cast. Do I have to target?
I think so. No, it wouldn't matter actually. You just roll the Is it? Yeah, it is cutting words. The bardic inspiration die for you is a D8. Is that right?
Okay, so I think I just.
You just roll the D8.
Did it just roll?
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to subtract it manually. It doesn't automatically do it. It can't subtract it from a pre-existing roll. So you just roll a D8 for a 5, which makes it a 19. Does a 19 still hit you?
Yep.
Okay.
Question.
Yep.
Did we ever figure out if I could use shield on somebody 5 feet from me? Like right next to me?
I think it's only you. Did we ask that question before?
We did, and I don't remember what we said.
All right, let me look. Specifically you. It says invisible barrier of magical force appears and protects you.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah. It's worth a shot, though.
And I guess what I'd like to do next is use my bonus. Well, let's see. Did you already do the damage?
Oh, I didn't.
For me?
No, I didn't roll it yet. Hang on.
Okay, I'll wait.
For 19, which you were able to still keep your bless up. So it wasn't enough. You succeeded on your concentration check. You rolled a 10, which is exactly what you needed. The DC was 10, and you got 10. If it rolled slightly higher, you would have failed on damage. But 19 damage of its slashing a claw across your like your chest. Make a con save. You have to beat a 14. But it cannot do a bonus action. Oh shit. Okay, it still has multi-attack. It just can't do bonus actions. Okay. Well, you're also poisoned.
Neat.
I thought it lost its multi-attack.
Is it lose its multi-attack?
I thought it did.
Hang on, let's look at it. Because they definitely only get an action or a bonus action.
I thought if it was multi-attack, they only got one.
Let's see. It can use an action or a bonus action, not both. Blah blah blah. I don't think it doesn't look like it says anything about multi-attack unless I'm blind. It can't use reactions. On its turn, it can use either an action or a bonus action, but not both. And its action is multi-attack.
It can't make more than one melee
Oh shit!
or
That's
ranged attack next turn.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well.
Oh!
So it did try to bite first, which means that never mind. Let's retcon the last couple minutes here.
Remix.
So not poisoned, and we'll take that hit back. Pogo is.
Oh, I get
not
cutting.
poisoned.
I get my little thing back too.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
have
But
had
you
to use bardic
exactly, you
inspiration
used
for it.
And it is.
Man, everything's just coming up pogo.
Screw you, Millhouse. It does drag itself forward though, trying to stand itself up, and it couldn't right itself all the way. So it's basically its mouth is like right over Sarah, and that is it for its turn. Mortolis A is still on its back though. It is also going to hop down, having seen that he's struggling to stand up. He's going to hop down here and beside Pogo, and take a. Oh, actually, he does. You know what? Actually, he's first going to use his action to shout to the Mortolis, or to the Albashar rather. So she can make it as far as here, and is going to. Well, actually, she doesn't. Never mind. She doesn't get her turn yet. Just her movement. So. And she can't get as far. She's going to try to come around this way, though.
These are the same guys that were able to freeze Prince, right?
Yeah.
Paralyze him?
Yep.
Okay.
I would say that you. I mean, he was basically 30 feet to your left, over your left shoulder. So you saw him get frozen when these cannibals bit into him. And you see that one just is basically coming in behind you, preparing to bite you. Although it's not her turn. She just basically this awakened Mortolis can command others to move even when it's not their turn with a shout like that. But they can't actually use their turn until their turn comes up. So he is going to. That was his action, and he doesn't have any bonus action. So he is going to standing in front of you, like just reaching out, like he's getting ready to try to whack at you. But you're kind of surrounded a little bit now. It is your turn.
Oh, crap!
You are
Okay.
very much surrounded, and basically, if they get any attacks off, the Iskil and Sorsha there would both have a +2, and the Mortrolis would have a +1 to hit you. They have a much better chance of hitting you.
And I'm right next to Arteme or Seraphina?
That's Sarah.
Sarah has the broom, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah. Can I quickly ask her if she wants, as a bonus action, can I ask her if she wants to get out of here with the broom?
Talking's a free action.
Okay. Should we use the broom to get out of here a little bit?
Question. Even on the broom, they'd still get a.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna get hit.
So you're gonna say no?
I mean, you can still
Okay.
try. You can disengage, but you don't have the broom.
Yeah.
Sarah
that's
has the
good.
broom, so I mean,
Yep.
you'd have to get it from her. What's that?
But if you disengage, I can always pick you up.
Yeah, if you disengage and run, you can get away.
Yeah, but then she'd still get attacked also.
Well, she's coming up next.
Yeah. Don't worry
She's on
about
deck.
God, I feel like getting attacked by 3 of these fucking things. I'm not gonna be able to not get fucked up from that.
You still have your banjo too. Don't forget that. That's
Oh,
out
I
there.
know. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cast Thunder Wave on the 2 in front of me as my action.
The 2 humanoids, not the dinosaur.
No, oh yeah, actually,
Oh,
that's
okay.
I like that even more.
Okay.
Oh,
that's your token, by the way. Everybody get to see token.
Yay! Look at my new guy! Woohoo!
that.
I
Nice.
thought it looked different.
So I'm actually going to cast Thunder Wave on both of these guys
Okay.
in front of me, and
Well, one of them rolled a natural 2, and one of them rolled a natural 1. They both failed.
cool.
All right. Now that should definitely Thunderwave should definitely have a sound in there. That's weird.
But
Well, didn't you say it crashed earlier?
Well, yeah, but I relaunched it. You guys have heard sound since
Oh.
then, right? Didn't you
I
guys?
don't know. Oh yeah, I heard the.
Yeah, exactly, like the poison sound and stuff like that. So, anyways, all right. So with the explosive blast, how far does it knock them? 10 feet.
10
Right.
feet.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, wait, yes. 10 feet away.
Okay. Knocks both of them away, nearly knocking them to their feet. They're kind of kneeled as they're pushed away from you, like scraping through the dirt. Sorsha actually probably, you know what, Sorsha would be actually knocked out because there's no strength to her left, so she'll be knocked prone. Whereas the Mortrolis is, a little more conscious and capable of holding himself upright. So that Albashar is knocked flat. Yeah, I think that one. I don't know why that would be a sound of a coin drop for prone, but whatever. All right, that sounded like a coin drop, didn't it?
No, it did.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So they're knocked back from your Thunder Wave. Any bonus actions?
Yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action to. Let's see here. 5, 10. I'm actually going to move my spiritual banjo over and attack the Abashar 11.
Okay.
So I can't remember. Do I just roll a 20 to hit?
No, you under your spiritual banjo. There's the cast button, and that is the attack,
Got it.
and that's the attack roll for it.
It was Iskal A that got slow, right?
Yes.
Okay, but
So
it
it's
doesn't have
in
a
front of you.
reaction.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's smart. Okay. Yep.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So Justin can
Wait,
know.
oh,
that
Iskal doesn't have a reaction?
Iskil A will not be able to bite you as a reaction. It will
Oh.
not be able to an opportunity attack is a reaction, and she floated, and it stuck. It didn't stick to the other one, but the one that's standing over you won't have a reaction this turn.
So do I roll cast?
Yep, you did it
to
right.
determine if it can attack, and then
Yes,
if it hits?
you would have done it on Albashar 11, but that's
Oops.
okay. A 22 does hit on Albashar, so go ahead.
Not that one. That one.
There you go. Go and do the damage.
Every time.
There's a special sound in there. There's actually two for Norak as well. I don't have any in there for Sarah yet, and the one for Sai, I still got some work to do on. But I can put in the custom sounds for you guys if you have ideas of what you want for any of your special abilities or weapons or anything like that. Just let me know. There's a good one in there for Norak too. That if he uses the right thing, we'll get to hear. All right. Anything else for Pogo?
Yeah, if this big bastard doesn't have a reaction, is he fully erect?
Well, here's the thing. He's basically standing on his left knee, and his right leg isn't working. So he's basically not up at his full height. But make a perception check on Pogo.
God damn! If I could do anything differently, it would be going back and adding perception to my better stats.
Yeah. It's one of those like you know.
Well, I had no idea. Never watched an
know.
episode of Critical Role or anything, and fucking this.
That's why I told everybody the other night. I told everybody how perception is. Like that is the most used skill.
Oh yeah.
By a mile.
And then stealth.
Yeah,
and perception.
and stealth is close. Exactly.
Important.
For anybody, not just like don't. That was something that was important for them to know too. Is that stealth? It doesn't matter if you're playing like a roguey type or not. You still need stealth for sure. So all right.
Yeah, like I always fail on it. So
yeah,
on Norak, he always fails on it usually. So
yep.
So does Westra.
Yeah,
She
that's
has
true.
disadvantage.
Well, you have the armor though. I just am clumsy apparently. So.
Yep. All right. It's close. I would say that Pogo probably did recognize that this thing is like that Sarah casted a spell. You didn't know what it was. You don't necessarily know the spell that she casted, and Sarah didn't say, "Hey, he's slowed. He can't bite you," as effectively. But I would say that you just barely kind of notice that he's moving slower. That you feel like maybe you could get away before he could bite you.
Well, actually, what I was wondering is, if I'm small, right? I'm like 3.5, 4 feet tall. There's a bit of rock in front of me. If I climbed up on the rock, would I be able to climb up on this thing's back?
You can certainly try.
But like, how tall? Like, if I was Pogo and looking at it?
Well,
it's like something I could do.
Its hide is there, and it's like it's raggedy enough that you could probably it's you wouldn't need to jump. Basically, you'd be able to if you climbed up onto the stone.
Nope. I'm climbing up right up behind its back into the same position that this other
Motrolis had been.
Motrolis was in. I'm just going to get right up on its back.
All right, go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. Acrobatics or athletics, you can do either one. All right, you reach. You hop up onto the stone and reach out towards its flailing claws, where it's basically its mouth is kind of over Sarah, anyways. And it's still like flailing, trying to get itself to stand upright, and it can't just get it. It won't cooperate. So you grab onto that kind of arm, the elbow of the arm, and yank yourself up onto its back, kind of clawing your way over. It's like the skin is like.
When I get up there,
sloughing up underneath.
Are there is there like reins or anything, or do I just hold onto the skin?
There's kind of a saddle. It's not really.
Get in the saddle.
Like it's I mean it's not a structured saddle as much as it is like a blanket with some leather like to sit in. But it is strapped to it. So I mean that's what you grab onto that to pull your way up, and are now atop this thing as if.
And I'd like to yell, "Yeah! Woo!"
It is thrashing violently. It is like very angry that you're on its back, or at least as much anger as this thing can muster.
Luckily, it's slowed, so hopefully it's not the world's fastest of emotions.
All right, is that it for Pogo's turn?
That's it for Pogo's turn.
All right, Sarah, you are beneath this giant dinosaur's very angry, gnashing teeth, with Pogo now kind of almost an eye shot directly above him. What are you doing?
Do I see Pogo on top of it?
You saw, yeah. Well, Pogo was right next to. He jumped up on the rocks and climbed up onto its back.
All right, nice.
You also heard me go, "Yeehaw!"
What was that?
What
did you say?
Thrashing.
Yeah, it's for like it might accidentally bump you with its jaws. It's thrashing around so much.
All right, then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Shadow Knife.
Okay.
And I'm in shadow, correct?
Yeah, it's shady enough. I mean, you were hiding there, so.
Alright, then I get advantage.
Okay.
And I'm just going to jab it straight up into the bottom of his jaw.
Okay. It's flailing back and forth. You can kind of aim for it as its head, because its head is going left and right, basically, as it's trying to throw Pogo off. So yeah, I mean, it's coming above you enough that you can aim for that. Go ahead and make your attack. It hits. That bless is working out.
It's really quite handy.
Roll another d6.
Oh shoot! I meant to cast that at 3rd level. It should be 3d8.
Okay.
There's
You would, when you hold it, you would just hold down Shift, I think, and click it. Just go ahead and roll another D8, and I'll add it to it. There's no difference for the psychic damage, so it's not a concern. All right, for another 6.
And then
Let me look at what shape he's in. He is just now bloodied, but go ahead and roll a D20 for me, just a flat D20.
no.
You stab up into its flailing jaws. It's kind of swinging left and right. It actually yanks you out of the way slightly, pulling you slightly to the left. I'm gonna rotate you. As it kind of you jab up into it, and it's the motion of it of you trying to hold into this knife kind of flings you off to the side a little bit. But when you pull the knife out of it, just a deluge of black blood and viscera of some sort just splashes square into your face. You are poisoned as well.
Oh! Does it at least not have a bottom jaw so it can't bite us anymore?
No, she didn't cut the jaw off.
Oh!
It was jabbed in. So the bottom, like, if you guys seen like a whale skeleton, or I mean any kind of a what the lower mandible looks like, there's space in the middle, and she jabbed up into the middle, not into the bone. So, okay. Any bonus actions or anything? I guess it was your bonus action to cast it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's bonus action to cast, action to hit, but I'm going to
You know, GTFO.
yeah. 25, 30. So I'm going over there.
Okay. You go rushing in front of Arteme, passing over to the other side, seeing that surrounded as well by the Mortrolis and another Iska with an Albashar nearby. That is it for your turn?
Yep.
All right. Out of curiosity, does Pogo have any control over this thing? Like, at all?
There aren't reins, and it... You get the impression it probably
just grab onto its scapulas.
I mean, it would be the scapulas. You got the anatomy right, but hold on to both of them. They're probably sticking up out of the back a little bit too. So it might be something enough for you to grab onto to not fall off necessarily, but probably not control it so well. But let's see, Sorsha sees Pogo is out of reach, probably is going to rush towards she has to stand up first, actually, so that'll be half her movement. 5, 10, so she can only get 2 here, rushing towards Arteme. She's already wounded, so keep that in mind if you guys are going to try to keep her alive, like Norok's request, but that's up to you guys. Arteme's turn.
They're trying to do what's on?
The Albashar that's coming towards you, the one that's named Sorsha. Norok asked you to try to keep her alive if you can. He recognizes her. Remember, she's not undead. Yeah, but she is. I'll tell you that so far you have not heard the Albashar say anything. Any of them. They've all just been kind of grumbling, pained sounds, but not any actual words.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna focus on
Make a perception check on Arteme.
this big one.
Okay.
Perception?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
right back, guys.
Right.
Do I have to call Sai to me to get her to do a touch spell?
No, she can deliver it from wherever she is, as long as she's within. I think she has to be within a certain range. So go ahead and I'll pull it up real quick and check. There you go. Let's see. Find familiar. Did you get that, Fox?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading it.
You're fine. When you cast a spell with a range of touch, your familiar can deliver this spell as if you had casted it. Your familiar must be within 100 feet of you, and must use its reaction to deliver the spell when you cast it.
Okay. So I'm gonna have her use Lesser Restoration on Norok, and I believe she'll be casting it her next turn. It would be a bonus action for me to set up the spell.
Well, what is the... So...
You touch a creature and can end one disease or one condition infecting it. The condition could be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, poison, but I was also using it for a few other conditions. I'm pretty sure that not all conditions it can cure are supposed to.
It doesn't do all conditions, no, but it would take care of the poison that's on him for sure. It takes your action to do it, and Sai does it right now.
I'm back.
She just uses her reaction. Okay. She just uses her reaction to do it, so it'll happen right now if you're going to. It just takes your action.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Then that will cure the Norok. You feel a very what's the word I'm looking for? Not painful, like almost playful bite on your ankle, and look down and see Sai has bit into your ankle, not hard, but just enough to kind of make contact with the skin through the boot. And you feel the poison in your veins beginning to neutralize. You're able to move at full speed again.
Thank you.
There you go. Poison is removed. Okay. Any bonus actions or movement?
Use Shield on myself. And
Okay.
Back to where.
Okay. If you're gonna reach and grab the box, it's pretty heavy. I mean, you can. Well, I guess you're not moving that far. That's fine. You can do that. It would just be half your movement. With your, yeah, you're fine with your strength. You'd be able to do that. So you reach over, grab the box, and kind of just rush over towards Sarah. What's that?
Yeah. So theoretically, on the next turn, I could cure Sorsha's tongue because it says one condition.
Well, nobody knows that but you, and that's not a condition. That's you would need greater restoration
Okay.
to regrow a limb. Yeah, Artemis is the only one that knows that, so nobody else operate on that knowledge just yet.
I don't even think I was paying attention.
Okay. Okay, is that it for Artemis' turn?
Yes, I did
Right.
action, bonus action, and movement.
Okay. There, Alvashar 11 is here. She's gonna close with Norok here, and it's only a 14 or no, sorry, a 13, but make another Constitution save. There's a very thick cloud of stench around the Albashar.
Oh.
Okay, you're good. That's good.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was only a 13 to beat. But
Plus 4,
Yeah. 'cause
thanks
that's
to
it.
Pogo.
oh shit, yeah, you would have had a 13, so you would have
Yeah.
failed actually if it wasn't for the bless.
Yep.
Oh no, you would have matched it, so you would have been okay by 13.
Okay.
So. But anyways, just barely. But she kind of lumbers towards you and grabs one arm onto your bicep and just tries to bite into the back of your shoulder. For a 15, which does hit, and this is probably not good. Well, you don't get advantage on con. Make another con save, and this time it's a 14 you have to beat. Oh shit! Hang on, I dropped that damage on the Iskill. Okay, well, this is bad news for Norok. This is like the only thing that screws the Norok up. Hang on, I gotta take that damage off of the Iskill here. Skill B. Oh shit. Okay. Iskill B is closer to. She's pretty beaten up. I didn't notice how close she was. So Iskill B is taking a beating for sure. But Norok just took 19 damage, cut in half because of the rage. Yeah, partially resisted. But as the bite sinks into your shoulder, G, you feel your muscles begin to seize and freeze up. You are paralyzed.
What's the effect of paralyzation?
Immobile, so speed drops to 0. Jesus, come on! How long is this stupid effect? And that one doesn't need to be anything special, anyways. It's not even a spell; it's just a condition. But anyways, paralyzation, speed drops to 0. Here, let me bring the info up on it.
Can it be awoke? Can someone who's paralyzed be awoke from another player's actions or not? Is it just a time thing?
No, it's. I mean, it would be well.
That's really all I cared about.
Yeah. It's creature's incapacitated, which means crits are automatic. Automatically fails strength and dex saves. Attack rolls against creature have. Okay, so crits aren't automatic. Oh, okay. All right. So yes, it is. Never mind. So automatically fails strength and dex saves. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet. So auto crits by anything that's close to him.
Okay, I have a question about that.
Yep.
Does that include if the creature would have disadvantage on the attack?
Let me bring that back up. Let's see how we would rule that. So attack rolls against creature have advantage, but if they would also have disadvantage, it would be a walk, which means they would still have to make the attack. So if it still hits, it would still be a crit, but it would have to make it with a flat roll, not an advantage roll.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. But that's it for the Albashar's turn. It is Shan's turn. Iskill A, as far as a status update, is barely bloodied.
Alright, well, she's gonna move just slightly closer so that way she's in range to bite.
Okay. if she, this could be amusing. If Shan knocks him prone again, and Pogo is on its back, Pogo's gonna go flying.
Yeah, and
he'll be fine.
Target, so she's gonna attack it.
So he can't do anything else. So.
I'm assuming 24 hits.
Oh, I didn't even see the roll. Sorry. Yeah, it does.
Oh, really?
Well, she didn't roll great, but go ahead and do the con or the strength save. I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, she saved. She got 22, 18 plus 4. So it is not yanked prone, but Pogo, you do feel the back end of the dinosaur yanked again. You look back and see that the dog is chewing on the ankle and trying to pull the leg away. Like the leg is threatening to separate from the dinosaur, it looks like, as Shan is trying to pull it off. That it for Shan's turn? What's that?
I don't think you guys realize Pogo's just up here to not get bit by this giant fucking dinosaur. He's not trying to really hurt it. He's just fucking. You can't bite me if I'm on your back.
So I don't. You know what? Probably none of you have ever had the experience of going crawdadding before. Is that correct?
Anybody I've gone crawdadding. Yeah, you go in the river and you reach under the rocks and you get the crawdads.
Yeah, all right. So specifically, if you're gonna, so you know what, Becky? Yeah, you probably have.
You grab them by the back, right behind there.
You grab them right behind the claws, right? Yeah.
They bring up their claws and they can't do anything. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Pogo's doing. He's putting himself right behind the mouth so it can't get him. That's good. All right, is that it for Shan's turn?
Yeah, that's all she can do.
All right, that one is already dead. Samson is trying to shake, not knowing what to do about it, is trying to shake Sergeant Prince free, is going to heal him a little bit. Sees that does not help with the paralysis. And he's going to go ahead and make a bonus action stab at the his best, kind of a half-hearted swing, trying to finish off this Iskill, who is pretty badly wounded already. Oh, that shit with him. Oh, shit. He just hit because of the bless. He would have missed otherwise.
Bless!
And then he rolled 2 1s for the damage. So.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, everybody give me perception checks.
Does that include me since I can't move?
Make yours with disadvantage, G.
Alright.
You still move your eyes just left and right?
Yeah, you can still... Actually, the perception is hearing. This is specifically about hearing.
I would normally have advantage for my buckler, so it's flat.
Okay. Alright.
Do I roll one for Shan? Because she has keen hearing and smell.
She wouldn't be able to tell you if she did notice something, so it wouldn't really matter in this particular case. You still could, but whether she noticed or not wouldn't really affect anything in this particular case.
Well, never mind. It doesn't actually have a skill tabs for me to click on. So.
Because it's the NPC record one?
Yeah, the thing for Shan. It just has the main tab.
Yeah. All right. The booming sound of wing flaps appears to be getting closer. I'll leave it at that. There isn't a lot of details you'll be able to get with those perception checks. All right, Iskill B is going to take a bite out of Norok, who is now frozen in front of its face. With it, oh shit! Oh, okay, with advantage, you barely made it. For a 15. It will be an auto crit then, and I don't know if this is going to automatically. I don't know if crit automatically or not. You only did 16, brought down to 8 because of the. Oh, hang on, I forgot one of the die. Those are d10s. Well, he rolled a 1 on that, so 17 total after resistance G, which comes to 36. With the bite, and is going to well, you could potentially be poisoned again, so I guess we have to do that. Go ahead and make your con save, G. save that. And then the claw attack.
Wait. I'd like to. I'm gonna see that this is happening to Norak.
Yeah.
And I'd like to use cutting words on this big beastie that's trying to attack him.
Let's see. Tell you what. Okay, you saw. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to potentially remove the first attack of the two, because the second one, basically I'll just tell you this way. The bite, he rolled low enough that it could have potentially missed, and the claw probably not. You'd have to roll like I think an 8 might do it. Maybe.
Let's see what happens.
All right, go ahead.
Did that just roll it on your side?
No. You just got to roll a d8. Just roll a flat
Got
d8.
it.
For a 3, that would have made it a 12. What's your ACG?
15.
Then the bite did not hit, so we'll take.
And I'd like to say, why don't you go back to whatever stupid rock you came from, you big dumb lizard thing? Yeehaw!
All right, so the claw hits, but the bite did not. Then G, so it's still an auto crit from the claw for 24 damage. No. Well, because of your rage, it's still only 12. So I mean, of the two, you took the better hit, anyways. You're a little over half health, G.
Okay.
From his auto crits of him.
And the good
biting
news is
you.
there's only 2 more people around you.
But it tries to bite down at you, looks over and see that it's the other Iskill that's with it is mounted by this annoying little brightly colored creature, and its bite misses, and then rakes a claw across your shoulder. Mortrilus B, who is right behind you, is going to make an attack with advantage for an 18, which does hit. Oh shit, god damn it, Iskill's too close, so I keep accidentally rolling it on him. Let me take that back off. There we go. For 7 total, so still not a big hit. Makes that 36. All right, it is your turn, G. You're paralyzed, so you can't really do anything. Yeah, your speed. What's that?
Do I
I'm gonna turn that. See if we can turn off the paralysis sound. I'll just make a better one. What's that?
try to get a save to break out on my turn?
No, it's not. There's no save to break out of it. It just lasts until the end of your next turn, which is now. Like the end of this turn is when it'll fall.
Yeah.
So basically, it's going to end, but it'll already be at the end of your turn. So, big paralysis sound. There we go. All right. And there you go. And it is Prince's turn, who it fell off from him for the last round. He now able to freely move and being slightly healed anyways, is going to let's see, nobody's tried to hit that guy yet. He's going to try to finish off this Iskill as best he can, who is already pretty wounded. He hits. Did some decent damage. Just kind of cleaving chunks out of the flesh of this thing. Ty's turn. What's I doing?
Okay, which ones are still here? I guess the ones on the map.
Yeah, the two that have a tombstone over them are dead. Everything else is still alive.
Everything else is still alive.
Yeah. I'm gonna move your spike growth. We know that it's there, but that Iskill hasn't moved yet, and the other two that were in it are not being affected by it. Just so that so that it's easier to not accidentally click on them.
Yeah, okay.
But we still know it's there.
Okay, well, where'd Nora go? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he's right there.
So I was gonna try and distract this one.
Okay. The Mortrilus will not use its it won't use its reaction. It's not going to try to swing at the little fox. It's got bigger concerns with Norok in its face. So she's trying to distract the other Iskill.
Yeah, this one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nora.
That it for her turn?
Yep.
All right. A is trying to shake Pogo off of its back and kind of pull itself forward a little bit, trying to get away from the dog that keeps chewing on it. Make a dex save, Pogo, as she flails back and forth, trying to throw you off of her back. The leftward swing, you're able to kind of hold on to the scapula, the left scapula, and then the right swing is just too much. You go flinging off of her back this direction. Roll a d20 for me. Roll a d4. Each number will be 5 feet. That's a d6. Well, it's a d6, so we'll just we'll go for it. That's fine. 5, 10, 15. You actually land careening through the air until your head smacks into this stone. You see that stone right there?
Yep.
Your head smacks into that like $1 Million Baby style.
Sure.
And you are now a quadriplegic.
Aww.
Go ahead and roll a d4 for damage for bludgeoning damage for smacking into it. Not so bad. What's that?
Shan is going to take her opportunity attack.
Okay, go ahead. Whoops. That is Pogo's first wound in this fight.
That's the only person who's been attacked is Norok.
Hey, that's not true.
Well, yeah, the Artemis bull got like bitten in half
right.
almost. So,
I almost got slaughtered as a bull.
yeah. Let's see. She made her bite, but where? Oh, you. Okay, never mind. The attack, the damage that I dropped on Pogo, it rolled a concentration check, and I couldn't figure out why. You go flying through the air, crack your head on the stone, just enough to maybe barely open the skin a little bit, but you still managed to keep your blessed spell up, so it wasn't enough to distract you too much. As she goes, let's see, 60 normally, so she can go 30. She can get to here and is going to try to bite at Sarah, but Shan did hit. Her AC is 13, so go ahead and roll Shan's damage. For 13. That's a good roll. Okay. And she in Sarah's face.
Question. Can I use, the Empower spell on Shan's damage rolls, or is it just mine?
I think it's probably just yours. I mean, it's your ability. Let me see, because the hound thing is an ability of yours, technically, despite it being a separate creature.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Huh. It's specifically a spell, and her attack is not a spell. You summoning her as a spell. Well, technically, but in this case, no. It's basically her ability, not it's the other creature's ability, not a spell that you're using.
Okay.
Go ahead. You say something?
No, that was it.
All right. She is as best she can, charging towards Sarah and trying to push Sarah over. Make a strength save. It's only a 13. Not with that. With kind of pulling itself along with only one working leg and the other kind of just stumbling it. What?
Does my ability for re-rolling runs is that? Oh, well, the D4 wouldn't matter anyways.
No. Yeah. That would just be the D20. Just basically pushes you forward with its claw and almost leaning on you for weight because it's like using like a cane almost on that one leg. Pushes you down into the ground. You are immediately prone and is going to bite your face off.
Oh God.
For a 15, which does hit even with your 15
Nope.
misses. She dropped an 8, so with advantage she had an 8 and a 9 plus 6 is 15, just barely misses, and then is going to using the claw that's holding on to you, try to crush you between the claws. For a 19, which does hit.
Shield.
God damn it!
Shield.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead and mark off your spell. Action is drop damage on her too.
I think that brings her to 20.
You throw your free arm up, your one that is not being pushed down by it, and emit this bubble, this blue bubble that comes out from your chest and just explodes outwards and pushes its hand up, almost pushing the dinosaur standing back up again. Pushing the hand away, the claw away from you, until the shield, it just blows up and fades, and then the dinosaur kind of lands back near in front of you again. She doesn't land back on you, doesn't hurt you. What's that?
It wouldn't have mattered anyway. He only gets one attack.
God damn it!
I just remembered. Sorry.
Well, the bite came first and it missed. So go ahead and put your spell, your thing back. Yeah.
Man, this game gets fucking complicated.
It really does.
Points.
Now, so keep in mind too, Justin, when you're doing this in person, I have the effects and everything in front of me. I can see them all on this list. So all of those things have to be done mental math style.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So no, you'll be fine. This is also, remember, level 6, so you have
Yeah.
a lot of time to kind of adapt before we get there. Did you unmark your spell slot, Becky?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
took off
Okay. The free Mortrillis here is seeing that everybody else is pretty well handled, is going to rush towards Bogo. Actually, it recognizes that the Hound is at least a threat, so it's going to rush towards the Hound and try to club it for a 15, which does hit. Hurts him, not too bad though. Only 9 damage. Bogo's turn.
Great. Okay, I'd like to start by. Do I can't remember that you don't get any extra effect from attacking from behind a creature, do you?
Well, you do for no, not by itself,
Okay.
unless they don't know you're there.
Okay. I'm going to attack with Spiritual Banjo on this Albashar.
Okay.
As my bonus. That misses, I'm guessing.
Yeah. No, actually, still hits. AC is 13.
Sweet.
Okay, Fox.
Then attack. Wait, do I do the, so the attack says melee plus 8, but then underneath it has damage 1d8 plus 5 force?
Yeah, that's the one you click. So you do it just like that. You did it just like you did, so you would roll that for the attack like you did.
Okay.
And then if it hits, which it did, then you would roll the damage. There you go, just like that.
Got it.
That's your 3rd time doing it, right? I mean, you pulled it
I
off.
think I've just been clicking the attack button like this. No, that can't be right.
But, well, I mean, that is the attack. That's what you've done. Oh, were you clicking... Okay, hang on. Let me see what you're looking at. Let me scroll down here.
So there's an attack next to cast and then a damage.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that attack button is the cast button. It's the same thing.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
Yeah, that whole row there, the cast button, if there was a save side, it would do both of them for you. So if there's a save or an attack, it would do both for you instead of clicking them individually. But
so that's to determine if it hits right there?
Yeah, yep. And then the damage, which you've already done, would apply the damage.
So I've been doing damage correctly, but I haven't been doing the attack roll correctly. But I've hit every time anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
You have been doing the attack correctly, too. It's the
Well,
same
this
thing.
is what I've... Oh, okay. Yep, you're right. You're 100% correct.
As always.
Yep. Okay, so that was my... so as a action, I'm going to...
Yeah, that was a bonus.
Yep, as an action, I'm going to go ahead and cast... Actually...
Oh, hang on. Did you... You just... Yeah, you... Okay, you clubbed that one to death.
Yep, with my...
Okay, I was paying attention to that, to the attack roll. I didn't see that the banjo knocked him unconscious. So the banjo whack caves in the back of the head of this, very weak and very malnourished Albashar, who slumps forward and is still kind of jittering but not conscious.
So now I'm going to target this Matrulis in front of him.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell him, you look like a bag of ugly bones and your mother probably dislikes you very much.
Okay. Well, he rolled a natural 1, so unless you want to use your thing to help him re-roll his natural 1, he did fail his save.
So and
then you rolled shitty on damage, but he does have a disadvantage.
But now he's got disadvantage. And then I'm going to run the fuck back over here.
Okay.
Trying to hide behind this rock. That's right here.
You know what? Did you turn and run, or did you back away?
I mean, I probably turned and ran.
Yeah, I mean, you ran probably 20 feet, 25 feet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, backing away like that would be dangerous when you know that there's, the ground.
So I
is-
turned and just ran away. I was far enough away from everyone, I think.
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay. I'm gonna do it in the... Oh, come on! I was gonna do it in the dice tower, but apparently it does not want me to do it in the dice tower.
How so? You just pick it up and drop it on the dice tower and it would work.
Yeah, I think it's because I have a one of my windows is mostly covering it.
Well, it worked that time.
that
was a regular roll. Yeah,
That was just a regular
okay.
roll.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, Fox. That's still high enough, anyways. You
Well, that wasn't.
What?
Yeah, I rolled 2 instead of rolling with advantage, but it doesn't matter. It got a 1.
Huh?
Or I got a 10. I rolled 2 dice, but I rolled them together as opposed to 2
I
dice
see what you mean.
separately.
As opposed to advantage. Yeah. Okay. Yep,
So I got
you're
an
right,
11.
Yeah. You know, it's big enough and obvious enough that you probably, since you were aware of it, turning and running this direction, it's about the only, major thing you would see, because it breaks the horizon. Something very large is flying this direction. You, of course, knew that these things were up in the air anyways. I'm going to go ahead and reveal it on the map. It is not this close, so keep that in mind. One of these giant things is flying through the air coming your guys' direction.
I'd like to yell to the rest of the group, "Hey, one of those big, ugly, wingy thingies from the sky is coming down. Just a heads up!"
It is still much further away than that, though. It's still going to be, you guess probably, if it were to make it, it'll probably be another 2 rounds before it could get here.
We've got like 30 seconds, maybe.
No, 2 rounds is 12 seconds.
So we've got like 15 seconds.
Yeah, so not long, but it's flying your direction and is already like heading straight towards you, so it's kind of coming downward, not just flying overhead.
Oh.
All right, is that it for your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, it is. Oops. Sorry, it is Sarah's turn.
Alright, so hearing that, I would.
You are poisoned and prone. Wait, hang on. The poison came from the bite, which didn't happen. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or were you poisoned? Were you poisoned earlier?
No, she never got attacked earlier.
No.
Okay. But you were pushed over by the jump, just not that the bite didn't hit. So you're still prone.
Okay, well, I would stand up and hearing that, yell, if we can all get close enough, I can cast darkness so it can't see us.
Should have done that before.
Well, I mean,
then we
it'll
have to
still see
save
that there's
Lord.
Never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
Well, if it's 1 a.m., it's still, like, dark out. So I'm hoping that we can cover ourselves enough it won't notice the dark sphere.
Mhm.
With that, I am going to stab this thing right in front of me.
Okay.
Just my shadow there. Okay, so how do I change it to 3d8?
Once you've picked it up, I think you right-click. So
Nope.
pick it up, still holding it,
That's too many.
and then right-click. Yeah, you can drop it and redo it if you need to get the right amount. You'll still have to mark off the right level spell slot, but that's how you do it to get extra dice.
No, I don't need to mark up another spell slot. Because it's already cast. It's in my hand.
What is the extra die for? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you. Yeah. Okay, I got you. But you rolled a 1 on the crit table, so no special effect. But you do get a inspiration point for it. So give yourself I'll put it on for you. There you go. And it's a crit. So go ahead and roll your damage. Oh shit! What was the? Go ahead and tell us how you finish this thing off.
So it's like right in front of me, right?
Yeah, I mean it's still bleeding out of the hole you put in its jaw already, and it's like gnashing its teeth towards you.
Alright, so I'm assuming it's close enough to the ground, because I'm only 3 feet tall, that I can just jab it up through the bottom of its jaw into its skull.
I mean, your arm may not be long enough to quite reach, but we'll say that you do some deep surgery.
It's a shadow knife, so I'm assuming I can make it like longer if I need to.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so you jab it up into the base of its skull, and then kind of elongate the shadow up through its brain until it pokes out through the top, spraying out kind of a fountain of black blood out of the top of its skull. That does splatter all over Arteme, by the way, ruining some very nice clothes.
Oops. And then
go ahead.
I'm just gonna move right there, so I'm a little bit closer to everybody. So if they do get close enough, my next turn I can cast darkness.
Okay. The Iskill does collapse forward once you pulled your arm free and moved out of the way. It collapses forward onto the ground, unmoving. Albashar 7 is already down, right?
Oh,
Yes.
Shanna's gone.
Oh, yeah, Shan disappears once that happens, so.
But Shanna's wait, what?
The
Once the
dog.
target.
Yeah, once her target dies, then she disappears. So she
Okay.
fades into the smoke and drifts away on the wind.
Damn
All right,
it!
Torch's turn. is going to rush towards Arteme. She has her full movement now, so she can actually make it to Arteme, and is going to attempt to grab onto your arm and bite you, like old school John Romero zombie style. You actually got to make a con save when she got close. Make a con save for a 13, Fox.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Are you within range?
I'd like to use. Oh shit! Hold on. Let's see if I can do the bardic inspiration.
What's the range?
Or not bardic inspiration.
Yeah, the bountiful luck.
Do. I don't know. Where's that listed again? Just under.
I think it's under your abilities. Yeah, abilities tab. Bart. No, it's
Bountiful luck. That's the
there
one.
it is. Yeah,
Oh yeah, no.
30 feet of you.
30 feet. You're too far away.
Yeah. Sorry, Fox.
That's fine.
You're probably used to it by now, right?
Yeah, so my.
So you are
my
poisoned.
growth is gone.
No, that's not from the con save. That was actually the Constitution save of this stench surrounding these Albashar. They smell so terrible. They're essentially like they're barely alive, decrepit, basically rotting alive as she comes towards you, and is then going to try to grab onto you to bite you, which if she does hit will paralyze you as well. If you don't.
I was gonna try and smack her with my staff, but shall
You'd have to have a something that would let you use a reaction though, or when it's your turn. But she actually missed, so she got a 5+9, which is less than your AC. So she did not hit you. Oh shit, they do have a reaction that I haven't been using though. I'll have to keep that in mind. But she tried to bite you and missed. She's already pretty wounded, but this is the one that you saw as the one that I sent you the message for earlier. The one that Norak asked to try to keep alive. So just keep that in mind. It is your turn. You are nauseated by the smell of this creature, of her open mouth trying to bite into you, but she did not successfully bite through you. She basically tried to bite you and just got a good amount of the fabric of your shirt.
Okay. I'm gonna hit her with my quarterstaff just to try and knock her unconscious.
Okay, so non-lethal.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and use your Shillelagh attack. Under
Oh,
Shillelagh.
wait, should we got time for that?
What's that?
Nothing. Everyone's too damn nice. What? Hilarious.
Jesus, it's just
Okay.
it's a comedy.
This game
How?
hates me. This
For real.
seriously hates me.
And I mean, had you been, had Pogo been closer to you, he would have been able to erase that,
Just
or
one
either
of
one of
them,
those
but
ones.
still.
Yeah, but I mean, like there were even the possibilities that could have helped you with your natural one, still could have saved that, and unfortunately, no.
So-
Far away.
So
What's that?
for a bonus action, if she tries to bite me again, can I just put my shillelagh
Can you put your Shillelagh what?
in her mouth?
You mean like for a bonus action now? Can you try to do that?
No, can I as a bonus action, can I prepare to where if she tries to bite me, I'll just put my staff to where she'll bite
That would be a ready to action. Technically, it takes your action and your reaction to do that. But I would say that since it's not really an attack, that in this case, yeah, I'll say you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, so I'll prepare that.
Okay, I would say that even as a bonus action, you just kind of stand, lean back a little bit and hold your quarterstaff out in front of you, kind of in front of her face, basically, so that as soon as she tries to reach towards you, you can just kind of push forward between her jaws, or between her teeth, rather. All right, that it for your turn?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. Well, I'll leave that one. 21's also down. That creature is still flying this direction, but is still off the map. It would be actually where it is now. Basically, just at the edge of the map is where it would actually be. So just keep that in mind that it's actually getting very close now.
And is it coming down over on the bottom side of the map in that area?
Yes. So basically, where it's shown on the map now is almost like it would almost be there. It would be very very soon. So basically, it'll probably be able to close on you in the next turn when it comes back around. Like 6 more seconds, it can make it to you essentially. Especially if it has any kind of ranged means. All right, Samson, there is with Sai kind of underfoot, is trying to dodge around Sai and is going to try to cleave at the Iskil here, which does hit. God damn it. There we go. Oh shit. He rolled a 23 total with his mod. Is able to bring his greatsword down through the neck of this thing, and it doesn't cut it completely, but it does sever enough of it that the Iskil is just jittering on the ground and trying to pull itself away but can't move. Is not able to. They're still. They were not alive, but I'll say to you that they're not completely dead either. So keep that in mind. And again, since it can't exactly move at this point. It is, yeah, it's trying to pull itself back up, but it can't really. They're, I don't want to give that away. We know what happens when these things go down yet. But B is going to swing at at Norok here, who is you're able to move and defend yourself now, G. So just keep that in mind if you have something to help yourself avoid this. But 18, so that hits.
All right, I'll use my tribal endurance.
Okay. He only did 5, so I mean you cut that in half already.
Yeah.
All right. So you can, well, it wouldn't be able to heal your previous wounds. It would just be able to heal the damage that you took from that, right?
I think so. I think it just negates that much of the damage, and then I get hit him back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, hang on. I did that backwards. Go ahead.
And that was the Mortualist trying to hit me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mortualist B that's in front of you. And it hits.
Sweet.
Shit. He did not have anywhere near that much left, so you cleave square through the shoulder, like shoulder down to midsection on the other side, cutting him nearly in half, where the top half of the body kind of leans backward and he falls back to the ground. It was too much damage for him to be able to do that special thing I was talking about. That's it for his turn, obviously. It's your turn. Hang on, did you roll that on the right one?
I hit B. Or did...
You dropped
I think
you put the damage on the
skill, didn't
Iskil.
it?
Yeah,
no
okay.
wonder.
Hang on. Well, it's
Okay.
still that. I mean, it was not enough. So I mean, I'll just drop the damage on him. But
So I just dropped my concentration for blessed because it didn't seem like anyone had it,
okay.
but I was wrong. I guess it just
It was
lost
still on
it
Norok.
Well, okay. Will that still keep that on them for the right amount of time, even though I took it off on my little character combat tracker? Okay.
Yeah. Just
My
remember
bad.
that you have your concentration check on.
Yeah.
So as you get hit, if it drops, they still have 7 rounds of it.
Yeah, I did not realize that it was still up.
Oh, good.
Reading the wrong things.
No problem. All right, what are you doing, G? The only thing still moving is Sorsha, who is in front of Arteme, trying to chew on Arteme, and the Mortrolis A, and then you do hear those massive wings of that creature flying.
We're
into the-
about to get fucking aped by a giant space warp.
All right, I'm going to
if anyone's curious.
run up and hit the Mortualist, but the Iskil's on top of me. I can't get to my token, so...
Oh, it's
like
the
my
dead
cursor
thing.
won't
Yeah.
do it, so.
There you go. I just moved her.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright, now I'm going to bash up one boy over here.
Which that is A. There he is. That misses.
Bastard.
Is that it for your turn?
Because that was my reaction to hit the other guy, so I'll do my second hit.
Oh, that was your reaction on the other guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay.
That's better.
Much better hit. Yeah. That finishes him as well. The one in front, the first one, you cleave through him, and in the same motion, just kind of jump over his body as he's still falling to the ground, rush towards the other, and then an upward swing cut through through the center of his body mass as well. He comes kind of falling backwards. Hang on, I gotta roll something. Okay. That was 5, 10, 15, 20 feet of your movement. What are you doing?
All right.
You'll have some movement. Sorsha's the only thing still moving.
Okay. I'm going
I mean, they're all jittering, but the only thing that's still standing, I guess.
to head up this way. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'd like to yell real quick if it's, are we just gonna fight this big winged guy? Is that what we're doing? Anyone responding?
Yeah, we need to get out of here.
Prince and Samson shouts, no, we need run. They shout run.
Get the goddamn box and run!
I did yell that I would cast darkness if everyone got first.
I've got invisibility, so don't fucking worry about me.
Prince is going to. He already starts to run. It was clear that he looked towards Samson for anybody that was watching, and then starts to run. The Iskil is in the way. I'm gonna go ahead and remove both of the. Let's get them out of the way. Their bodies are still there, of course, so that area we have to remember will be difficult terrain for anybody that's trying to climb over a dead dinosaur. But that was 5, 10, 15, he can get to here. As he's trying to run, it is Sai's turn. What's Sai doing?
Coming back towards me. And trying to distract Sorsha.
Okay. Go ahead and drop it on her. Is that it for her turn? All right. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. All right. It is Pogo's turn.
Let's see.
The flying creature is very close and aiming straight towards you, basically.
Okay. I am. I'm definitely just going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. I'll tell you too. Where you guys are, where you're aiming is to try to get in this area, right here, where that red
Okay.
circle is.
Does Pogo actually know where the entrance is, or does he have to rely on everyone else?
You turn. You know what? Give me a. You can use.
He just said it was a rock.
Well, he told you that it was that. Basically, it's that direction. It's
Yeah.
actually off the map there, but basically that's the direction that Prince is running towards. So if you make a perception check, I'll tell you either perception or investigation. You can do either. All right. Well, you rolled well enough there, anyways. You can triangulate based on the direction that Prince is running.
Okay. Is he gonna feel kind of bad for these fucking guys?
Prince is already running towards it. Everybody pretty much has the orders. As far as the Crowblinders are concerned, everybody has orders to run.
Yeah, I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. That does drop less, by the way.
Okay, that's all right. I think.
Yeah.
It only lasts for 1 minute, so 6 rounds is probably.
You had 30. You have 35 seconds longer of it still going. But I mean that's fine. Just you drop your concentration on bless to put up invisibility. So.
And then I'm going to. Are these bushes in front of me down south? Are those difficult terrain, or can I not get through those?
No, those are definitely difficult terrain. You can get through them. It just takes you double movement. So it takes you'll be moving at half speed to get through them.
I'm actually going to 5, 10. Right. Let's see, 10 feet of normal. I'm going to dash.
Okay.
So 10. 20, 5. So I think I could get to about there, through the
Okay.
middle of the trees, going through that. Does that seem about right? If I double my movement minus the 10 or 15 or so?
Well, it would be half of it. So I mean, your normal
Like that?
speed is 25, right?
Yeah, but it's only half for the bushes, right?
Yes. So I mean, your normal speed is double would get you 50, and then each of these that count for 10 would get you probably like 5 foot less than that. But that's fine. You're
Well,
just
I'm
about
invisible, so.
there. Yeah, I mean,
it's-
if you took exactly. If you took
Okay.
if you took the most efficient path, that's fine. You can make it through there, kind of dancing through the.
And I'm also going to 5, 10, 20, 30. Nope, that's really all I can do.
Is that if your turn then?
That's it.
All right, Sarah's turn. The wing beats are getting so loud that it's becoming deafening as that creature getting close.
Okay, well, first, I'm going
I'll be
with my shadow knife.
Okay.
But I'm going to
Okay.
make non-lethal.
That's a bit iffy. I don't know how you'd non-lethal. I guess
I feel like,
walk me through that. You trying to hit her like in the leg or something so that she can't run?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, if it's a shadow knife, it has a hilt, right?
It has a what?
I have
A hilt?
advantage.
Yeah, but she's trying to throw it, so it's not, and it's not really. I mean, if it was a physical knife, yes, but this is basically just a solid shadow. Think of it like ice.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say just bash the hilt in the back of her head.
Yeah, she's not
Crack,
melee.
crack,
Though.
crack.
She's also at range.
Right, yep, but I do have advantage because we're in shadow.
Yep.
Alright, so try to hit her.
Okay. And it hits.
Okay. Try to hit 3.
That worked. Okay, so you've knocked her unconscious with a blast of it through the leg. That she was just so weak by the time that it went through her. She kind of stumbles forward, and it looks like she's still shaking and shivering a little bit, but she doesn't seem to be physically capable of moving herself anymore.
Alright, and then I'm going to move my 15 feet to the other side of the thing and use
the box.
my inspiration as a help action
Okay.
to help Artemate carry it when she's ready to run.
Okay.
That may not be super strong, but at least I have some strength.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
my turn.
All right. Well, Sorsha is there bleeding out. She still has to make death saves, even if it's a, even though that was non-lethal. You didn't kill her, but she still has death saves to make.
Okay, I'm gonna use healing word on her.
Okay. Are you trying to? Well, so if you just heal, I would say it is this way. If you heal her normally, she will be conscious again. Are you trying to stabilize her, though? She's still unconscious.
Yeah,
but not
just
bleeding?
stabilize her.
Okay. Normally you would use a medicine check for that, but I would say that if you're going to use a healing word or something like that, I would say that you can. I would rule that you can basically heal her enough to heal the wound, but not bring her conscious. If that's what you're trying for.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and mark off your spell for it. And I'm gonna leave her as unconscious, but no longer bleeding out. So we'll do that that she's we'll treat it as if she's 1 HP basically, but she's still unconscious.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call out.
Hang on, all that noise there. Call it to what?
Okay, I'm gonna call it to Nora to come pick up the case.
Okay.
Sai's gonna jump up on me. I'm going to pick up.
Like throw Sorsha over your shoulder.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and Narek once it gets here. So he and the case will be invisible. I can't do it on 3 people, sadly, but I could do it on 2.
Okay. Sai counts.
Well, the Sai would be on me, so anything
She's a
on my
separate creature,
person.
though. Nah, she's not a thing. She's a creature, though.
Right. Okay, so Sai
Now,
will
that
jump
being
onto
This
said-
Sarah.
is what we were talking about with the bull.
Okay, so Sai will jump onto Sarah's shoulder then.
Okay.
I'll be...
All right. So you are carrying Sorsha and turning yourself and Sorsha invisible.
I guess... Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then go ahead and mark off your spell and your invisibility to put the effect on and everything. And you're still... What's that?
Wait. Wait. Hang on. So, if I would cast invisibility on Sarah and Nora first, I could then recast it on myself and Sorsha.
It's concentration.
Right. Never mind.
Can I? No, I never. I was gonna see if I could go back to use my bonus action to move the banjo.
I mean, you didn't, so that's fine. You can go ahead and move it wherever you want it to be, as long as it's within the normal range of it. So go ahead.
Right there.
Okay.
All right. So you have you throw this very I mean, you guys have seen Holocaust pictures. This obviously starving, light as a feather creature over your shoulder. She's still.
Before I throw her over my shoulder, I'm also going to kind of put something around her mouth so she doesn't gag and blur. Well, not really to gag her, but to keep her from biting if she does wake up.
Okay.
And
Like
to
a
try and keep
like a piece of cloth or something in her mouth.
Yeah, and to try and also prevent her bit tongue bleeding to like.
Nobody else knows that.
Yeah.
So- but that's fine. You know that, and you can still, keep those actions. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I'll send you a message for that. But yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you've done that. You've kind of essentially like a bandage almost through her mouth, and then throw over your shoulder. Cast invisibility over yourself. Are you moving as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna go towards the and
Okay. Go ahead and you can move yourself. I unlocked the tokens.
oh, I just don't know where the entrance is.
It's down a little ways, down towards
Right,
the left. You see
right by
red there.
Pogo.
Yeah, we're pretty much like Pogo's like 20 feet away from it. So.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you couldn't make it quite that far.
Whoa.
Okay, Zorsha is locked, so I can't move her.
Oh, yeah, because she's hostile. Okay. Well, if you're just going your max distance, since you used your action to cast already, it'd be 20, 25, 30. You can make it to there. And I wouldn't know. I mean, normally it would be reduced, of course, for Sorsha being on your shoulder, but she's just so light that it's not any different than having like a backpack on. A very light one. She's just so frail. Okay, the giant flying creature's turn. It closes the distance the rest of the way. Oh shit! It has 120 feet fly speed. So this may be bad news for you guys. Still, let's see.
Who's not invisible?
Me and Norak and Samson and Prince.
Great.
I
This is perfect.
It is going to. Let's see.
Although Norak does have the potion of invisibility still.
Do he still
and
have that?
I thought
Yes.
Sarah was gonna cast
Who's-
darkness on you guys, which is why I cast invisibility and grabbed her. That would give you guys a little bit of a slower pace, but
Who's
that's
grabbing?
up to Sarah.
Yeah, who's grabbing the box?
Norak?
Okay.
You don't want to go all this way and then lose it?
I fell. Whatever.
The flying creature makes its way into the middle of, still flapping its wings above the ground, holds its kind of snake-like jaw out, and you see the bottom jaw split open like a split mandible, the way like Predator does in the movies. And between the jaws, a small tube kind of ejects forward when the jaws split, and there's an eruption of this very caustic, steaming greenish-yellow liquid that it erupts out from it in a straight line. Hang on. Well, I can't. Well, it's 10 feet wide. Okay. Well, it's going to be here. I'll just draw the line this direction, which is actually going to hit the. Well, it wouldn't be able to hit both. It's going to be over Sarah and Sai. So make a dex save on Sarah, because Arteme is invisible. Norak is a little bit behind trees. Dex save on Sarah, and then Fox roll a d20. Oh shit. Okay, so in that case, Sai succeeds, so it'll be half damage on Sai, which I'm not sure.
Helpful. Super
Well-
helpful. Oh god.
Okay, well, you guys got a little bit lucky. He got 2 1s in there, 1 11, a 6, a 4, and a 2, for a total of 25. Could have been much, much worse. You definitely lucked out for sure there, but the acid spray rolling over your skin is immediately extremely painful, like screaming painfully. So much so that your concentration drops so slow, which you no longer needed. It was slowing some corpses from their jittering. But half damage of that is rounded down as 12. So 12 damage to Sai. Where is Sai? There she is. Sai disappears in a puff of greenish smoke. Fox can resummon her, of course, because she's a familiar. But Sai does puff and disappear, and is gone. And the creature just roars and kind of leans. It's still floating in the air. It doesn't actually settle down. You can see now, by the way, that it looks almost reptilian as well. Kind of a bug reptile hybrid almost. But it looks like it will be pursuing if given the opportunity. So you'll need to do something about that. Oh shit, Samson was supposed to be by that too. Hang on. He was along that line as well. Let's see if he makes his dex. No. So he'll take the full 25 as well. There we go. Okay. It's Nork's turn.
Yeah.
So a line of acid just spewed through the air there, covering Sarah, Sarah, Samson, and the box, as well as Sai. There's a bunch of S's. I just realized. The older rock is covered in this burning acid. You can't tell if it's damaging it or not, but you're supposed to be picking this thing up that is going to melt your skin away. You can tell by that. What are you doing?
Alright. So I gotta get over there anyway. So you said the box is like got hit by the acid, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And you've got a storm. Like you can actually, there's kind of a path to the north side there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's basically straight up from you and then around to get over to it.
Okay.
You can either go straight through the bushes, which would be half movement, or if you go straight up and then around, there's a little bit of a path there. You see that? Yep. So like that's 15. That would be 20. I mean, you can make it over. You can make it to the box.
Okay. Alright, then I'm going to make it over to the box, and I don't really have much of a choice but to pick it up, and then
Sarah is still holding on to it, trying to help.
Yes, like is it advantage, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
Well, I mean, it would be advantage if he needs to do something with it. If you're both carrying it, you can move at full speed, but only at the slowest person's speed, which would be yours. I think Norak has 40 feet.
Yeah,
Yours is 30.
30.
Yeah.
Alright, then I'm going to pick it up, and then after I pick it up, didn't somebody give me that invisibility potion that we have?
I did.
Did you make that sound, or was that an auto sound?
No, that was me, because I was stumbling on my
Okay.
words.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I have my
Weird
own
one.
auto sounds, so...
It's still a bonus action to the potion, right?
For yourself, yeah. If
Myself.
you're the one drinking it, yeah.
Alright, then I'm going to grab the box, and then as a bonus, use that invisibility. And my movement's done, so I'm just going to wait to move. So.
Okay. All right. So you drink the invisibility potion, and you are technically carrying the box, even if Sarah's helping. So the box, you and the older rock disappear. Okay. Prince is going to continue his run. If he's dash, he can make 60. That's only 30. Oh yeah, he can definitely make it. Never mind. All right. So he makes it. Pogo in front of you. You see Prince run through a rock and just disappear. And it is your turn.
Do I have an idea that this giant creature, if it sees us running through this rock, it's going to like be able to tell other things, or does it not seem like a very intelligent creature?
Go ahead and give me a maybe animal handling. I'll tell you, you can use either animal survival if that helps you at all.
Not even a little bit. Oh, nice run though.
The impression that you got when the creature kind of flew over and then spit acid is that it was trying to eat.
Okay.
It seems very. It seems like an animal. It was bestial in nature.
And let's see.
It seems. You know what? Here, I'll say that it was prey driven. You know what that means, right?
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
just doing this out of instinct. It didn't really come down for didn't have like a reasoning.
That's what it seemed like. Yeah.
All right. And Seraphina is still just out in the fucking open.
Yes, she's still visible. Nora, you saw. Well, I would say that if you're looking over your shoulder, see this through the branches there, you can see that Nora picked up the box and disappeared, and Sarah's just standing there holding her arm up like as if she's holding an invisible tray of like a pizza tray or beers or something.
I have the broom though.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
So I'm still invisible. As my bonus is, can I even get it there?
It isn't looking your direction either, by the way. It's
I
looking
know.
northwest. Yeah.
I know. So, what I'd like to do... How far away? If I move into the brambles... Is this in bush brambles or is this behind just like under a tree?
You're pretty much in the brambles there. You pretty much need to go where I'll move because Prince actually isn't there. He's gone. So I'll just move him out of the way. So you do have an open path that you can run around.
Well, what I'm going to do beforehand is I'm going to make an attempt on this big beastie. I'm actually going to try to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on him.
Okay.
This big ass thing.
Let me look at the spell real quick here.
Double check.
Okay. You can certainly try.
Yes!
Yeah.
Hang on. So what you just did there isn't what you were intending to do.
What?
You casted
I
it on
cast it-
yourself.
Oh, well.
And
How
you
is he not-
saved. You saved against it with a natural 20 because you had yourself targeted too. The natural 20 would be good for you, but if he got a natural 20, it would be bad for you.
Wait,
Thankfully, so you had yourself targeted. You basically casted it on yourself.
sometimes the app is more confusing than
I know. That's fine. That's fine. Obviously, we're ignoring that part. We're only using the creature's roll. And what it rolled was a 14 minus 4 for a total of 10, which did not beat your DC of a 16.
So he gets the effects.
Yep. There is no noise coming from the creature, but it is kind of flailing around, still in the air, trying to keep itself aloft. But I will say that it's because it's struggling to, it can't fly. It's reacting too much to this with its wings are not kind of in cadence anymore. That it kind of plummets off awkwardly to the ground.
And I'd like to yell to the group and say, "You've got about 13 to 20 seconds right now. I recommend you hurry."
Your invisibility did drop, by the way.
Yep, I dropped it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement. Where do I have to get? Where he is?
Pretty much in that. Just get to the far side of the circle. Like that's the area. The circle is the rock. The hole is just off the map.
All right. Well, I guess
So
I'm
you're
like
fine.
right there.
You had enough room that you could make it there. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Yay!
Once you're inside, you're inside the rock anyway, so at least you wouldn't be visible to the outside anymore. Okay, that if your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop Spiritual Banjo because I
Okay.
can't see it anymore. I don't think it works.
All right, it is Sarah's turn.
Okay, so I'm guessing that I wouldn't be much help to Norog, especially since he's invisible.
He's already picked it up. I would say that you kind of helped him lift it, essentially, for what little help that actually is. But he has it now, and he's fine with it. So.
Alright, then how much movement does it take for me to jump up on the boom?
None. I would call that an item interaction,
Alright.
which you get one for free.
50, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to dash.
Get the fuck out of there.
80,
So basically, the bad guy has
90,
each of his
I am
turns. He can try to get out of it, but hopefully he doesn't.
next to Pogo,
Yeah.
and I am done.
Okay. Sorsha is unconscious, of course, with Arteme. What's Arteme doing?
I'm going to dash and switch
Okay, so you can make 60 feet. I think that's 60, right? Yep, that's 60. Okay, so yours was 60. How much was mine? 70. Okay, there we go.
What? Why am I going back?
You're fine. I was trying to make a line to see it. Oh, you actually started from a little bit behind, anyways. So you know what? I mean, with time, assuming you guys are dashing, if that's what you guys are trying to do, then I'll say that you guys can successfully make it in, or that you and Sorsha can, anyways. It is the Iskil's turn. She gets to try to make. Is it the end of her turn, Justin?
Let me see. At the end of each of its turn, and each time it takes damage, the target can make another Wisdom saving throw.
So it's the end of its turn then, and I'm going to go ahead and drop this in Discord for you guys.
No. That's never a good sign.
This particular time, it was a good
-1!
sign. She got a -1 on her roll.
So, what would a giant worm dragon sound like laughing? Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's not laughing because it's not the kind of sound that a mouse would be able to make like that. But she has a -4 wisdom modifier. Her wisdom's 3. So she has a -4 wisdom modifier for a result of -1.
fantastic.
Samson similarly is dashing, so we'll say that he makes it in. You guys have a full other round to make it. Norok, if you dashed, you're at 80 feet. You would potentially have one round, so we'll give it one shot. Basically, assuming everybody else is dashing. Are you dashing, Norok, too?
Yeah.
All right, so you would make it about here. Let's say carrying the box. I didn't go Sorche in as well, but we'll say that everybody's there. So she's going to have one more chance to try to break out of it. What was your DC? Or your your
16,
DC?
I think.
Well, she got a 14 this time. Just for fun's sake. She got an 18 minus 4.
Yeah,
She
my
actually rolled
DC
really
is
well.
16.
Yeah, she rolled really well, and it still wasn't quite enough. So
Would I be able to send Sai out to go make Norok invisible?
I don't think you need to.
I already am.
well, he's because the Iskil is still under the effects of this.
Oh, okay.
She did not succeed. Basically, she actually rolled really well, but her wisdom is so shitty that she still does not break it.
Yeah, a -4? Good
Yeah.
lord.
Well, I mean, they're just not wise creatures.
Yeah,
They're,
that
you
thing
know,
definitely
just-
won't be able to tattle on us, so I think we're all safe, guys. That thing's gonna-
You all, you rush in as best you can into the to the cave.
With my 1 damage.
Yeah, I mean, you managed to get out pretty unscathed. Sarah would have been fine until that acid. She got burned
Yeah.
pretty badly from that.
That was the only
You go, yeah.
I like
which
that.
is actually you. What's that?
I like that Pogo doesn't do much, but they seem to come pretty clutch in a few situations. Like this random. Let's just put
Okay,
the
for
dragon.
real, utility
Laugh.
stuff is so much more important than people make it out to be. Like, I mean, everybody having a specific role is great. Like, Nora can cleave through shit. That's that's super useful. And basically everybody has good role, good kind of roles they can fill. But
Yeah.
specifically, utility stuff can mean the difference between a total party kill and not.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty
creative use of like darkness and silence and things like that can really make the difference. So, I forgot to change the lighting, guys. I apologize for the lack of immersion for this session here that you guys did not have the cool lighting. All right, so you guys rush in through the tunnel and you're immediately surrounded by people. There are refugees on either side of this, the walls all the way down through this tunnel. You're only a short ways in. Before let's see, the rest of the natural ones, not counting Pogo, have seen the other side of this, and now Norok, Sarah, Arteme, you guys come to, well, the 4 of you, but Norok, Sarah, and Arteme, of course, have seen this before. You guys are now on the opposite side of this newly constructed suspension bridge that's made of rope and these kind of hastily cut wooden planks that are crossing this 100-foot gap. And in the pit below, you can see the remains of the old bridge. And nearby that, by the way, you guys see the huge rib cage of what look kind of like very weak bones. It's probably actually cartilage that are left behind by the butchered carrion crawler that had been down there. You guys remember that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Make nature checks on Norok and Arteme. We've got probably another 15-ish minutes at least that I'd like to get through tonight, so it might be a few minutes after, like 9:05 at 9:10. Is that okay with everybody?
unacceptable.
Fox, does that work for you?
As long as I could multi-game.
Okay. It shouldn't be. It won't be combating necessarily.
Well, no,
unless
the
you
other
get
thing is
somebody
just like playing a little game as Simon
Be right back,
says, but it's just because I don't want to wait another 2 hours.
Oh, is it the Guild Wars thing? The Simon Says one for Halloween? Gotcha. All right. Well, both Norok and Arteme, you guys do recognize that the style of, let's say that the way that this creature is cut, the head is still there. It looks like a giant maggot. So the head is still there, and then you see it's almost flensed, like clean to the bone, of these cartilage-looking bones that where the spine and the rib cage go, and then the tail end is also left on it. So Norok and Arteme, you guys would recognize that this style of butchery is consistent with what you would see for a harvested animal if you needed to cut the meat away from it. So do with that what you will, but this is the creature that you saw previously, and you know what it eats as well. So, but along this kind of winding tunnel path, you guys continue heading in, I assume?
Yeah.
Pogo would like to look around to see if there's any attractive ladies among these refugees.
The faces of these refugees are more dirt than skin. It's kind of hard to tell.
Gross.
But there are just people strewn all along the walls, huddled up from the cold, looking ragged and terrified, and in most cases more dirt than person. But there's just for the rest of you guys, not Pogo. These are all new for you, of course. But for the rest of you, these are hundreds of new faces. You don't see a lot of civilians that that you would march through the desert with. There's just hundreds and hundreds of new people that you had not seen when you were here previously. They might be civilians from other nearby towns and more refugees from the Legion and so on. A half dozen times or so while making your way through this pile of these starved refugees, you overhear whispers and these kind of quiet, desperate instructions. You see adults that are holding small knives and daggers and other kind of makeshift sharp implements, and they're animatedly showing older people and smaller children and so on how to very quickly and painlessly end their lives. And more than once while traversing through this kind of path, you hear like choked off sobs and stuff like that. You hear things along the lines of, if I tell you to, you must, and if they get in, they will hurt us, and better to rest this way so that I can find you in Crow's Thicket. It's clear that they're basically, preparing for the worst, that if the Vabians break through, that they'll, better to kill themselves than it is to, be taken and potentially become Albashar and so on. But you guys keep kind of moving along this path through these very decrepit people.
Hello. Nice to see you.
None of them seem to be paying you guys any attention.
No.
There are people ahead of you and people behind you, and going in both directions. There are soldiers that are coming, back the way towards you, and there are soldiers behind you that are coming in. They may have been the same ones that stopped you when Arteme was in bull shape out there. But you make it out into the kind of the main antechamber that you guys were in previously, where the stairs came down. I don't know if you guys remember that in the subterrane. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's very few people that are standing amongst the refugees. Nearly all of them are like the walls for warmth and stuff like that, trying to stay out of the way of the soldiers and the Miotau mercenaries. Just in the Miotau are Minotaurs. So you're seeing a bunch of Minotaur. There's a bunch of Minotaur mercenaries that are in here.
Are those normal in this world, or are these very rare in this world?
They're mountain folk. They're about as rare as Norok species are, as Yogg are. Like you've seen them before. They're usually mercenaries. They're a very honorable mercenary culture. They're not common, but I mean you have seen them before.
Okay.
You wouldn't be blown away by seeing them, except for the almost getting stepped on in numerous cases.
I'd just like to go up to Seraphina's ear and go, look at the cock on that fucking thing over there.
Is there a map? Because I remember there being a map for this.
There is, but I would need to pull it out. So there's, in the sake of time, you won't maybe need it unless you guys go on to start fights or something. What's that?
Do we see like Clover or Hairshirt or any of them?
So far, as you guys are moving through this group, you only see one face that you recognize. There are a few, like I said, just very few that are standing amongst these people, other than the soldiers in the Miotau that are kind of moving by, and obviously in a hurry. But they're the few that are standing. They look like they're probably medics and doctors and priests and so on. Pogo, you see one that immediately catches your eye. He's an old Kenyan priest, which is like an Asian culture, like a Southeast Asian culture. He's bald and wrinkled and covered in this kind of coarse burlap robe. And he's just covered head to toe in these very intricate tattooed symbols. But what stands out specifically is that he's got two bandaged stumps at the end of his wrists. Both hands have been cut off. He doesn't have hands anymore.
And why does it catch my eye specifically?
Because a dude that's walking around amongst this without hands, nobody else is kind of covered head to toe in tattoos.
Does he look? So he's dressed fairly well. Does he look like he's in?
No, not well at all. No, he's wearing a burlap. Yeah, he's wearing a burlap robe, and then like covered in these like very odd, ugly-ish tattoos. That's a VA for you there.
And
no, go ahead.
Are we just kind of walking past him, or is he close to us?
You're gonna have to pass him. So the rest of you, of course, you recognize Kwando, the Red Candle priest. I'd
like to, when we walk past him, I'm just gonna be like, high five. Just kidding. And then I'd like to apologize for myself that I say jokes when I get very nervous.
Okay, go ahead and make a just a flat charisma check. You guys you see that he's awkwardly carrying this wooden plank across his forearms, and there's small chunks of this whitish yellow kind of flesh on it. And he had been moving group to group. Okay, so Pogo, when you say that, he looks down at you and he actually kind of like makes this very tired smile, like he wants to laugh, but he's just too tired.
Finally, someone with a good sense of humor, and then I'm a Samson.
Samson and Prince, by the way, are like pushing behind you, trying to move you guys along, and then do move around you and start to continue along the way. Some of the groups that he's kind of leaning over to these very hungry people clearly, and some of them take those chunks of flesh off and pop it in their mouth, but they all don't look very happy about the taste of it. Of course, you can gather, of course, where that's coming from.
Soylent Green is people.
Well, so the thing that was in a cave was a giant maggot-like creature. It's called a carrion crawler.
That's what they're eating.
Yeah, and that's what they're eating.
There's nothing wrong with bugs.
It's more that
lobsters are basically bugs.
Oh, for sure. Lobster's disgusting too. But having seen Pogo, he then looks up to seeing Norok there, and he kind of stands up straight as best he can, still kind of holding this plank across his wrists or his forearms. And he says, Norok, and he kind of gives a solemn smile. He says, Obo spoke about you a lot in his final hours. My condolences. He was a brave warrior.
I'm gonna make 20 good berries and put them on on the thing so you could give them to people too. It doesn't say I could do it on a different skill slot, but if I put it did it with like a third skill slot, would it increase the amount of berries?
If it doesn't specify, then it doesn't change the effect of it. You can still use it. You can still use a higher level spell slot to do it. It just doesn't change the effect.
Okay, so basically I'd be able to do...
You get 10 berries per spell slot of
I'd be able to do 50 berries.
Okay.
So I'll do that, and then I'll add them to the thing.
That'll take you 30 seconds or so.
Still have normal.
Yeah, that's fine.
Also,
because I still have food in my bag for us, but for the other people, at least if them will be able to eat a berry.
Sure. And the good berries too, by the way, Justin, they're enough nourishment for a whole day.
Oh,
so these people are starving. So I mean, giving them a small bit of jerky would not be anywhere near as much as giving them this tiny good berry.
I did not know that was a part of good berry.
While she does that, I'm going to elbow Pogo for being insensitive.
He smiled. It's not the end of the world.
They saw his hands get cut off when they were in the desert, so they know this guy a little bit.
Sure.
And then I'm going to ask him if he knows where Pepperjack is.
He kind of turns and shrugs at you. He says, I don't even know how long. I'm sure he's up there somewhere.
Alright, I'm just going to tell him thank you and keep walking.
Okay, sorry. To clarify, since I made 50 good berries, I'm popping one in his mouth and make him eat.
Making Kwando eat it?
Yes, because if he's feeding other people, he definitely needs nourishment himself. So he'll have 49 to give to other people, but I'm making him...
Oh, are you giving them to him so that he can pass them out?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay. Then you kind of overload. You just keep, holding your hands out of these, or just spilling out of it like a horn of plenty of Thanksgiving. Well, I don't know if you Canadians have that idea, but the horn of plenty, anyways, because you guys have your own weird Thanksgiving in like the middle of fucking July or some shit.
Yeah, we learned about all that. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, but you kind of overflow.
Thanksgiving is in July.
Yeah, you guys do it at some weird fucking time that doesn't make any sense. Like, I know it's definitely not
in October.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. October's
you guys
Halloween.
have it right near Christmas. It doesn't make
Canadians
any sense
have Halloween, right?
We have Thanksgiving and oh my yes.
Well, hey, I'm just gonna say right now, I don't give a shit about Thanksgiving, but Halloween is a fucking treasure.
Yes, we have Halloween. Jeez.
I gotta say, mocking Canadians is like one of my favorite pastimes for this game.
It's pretty good.
Wow.
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are overloading this board, and you try to, you kind of force him to eat one, and as he's trying to chomp down on it, just trying to spit out these words, he's still trying to offer some condolences to Norok here. He says, Obo left a note for you, and he's kind of looking down at his that simple robe he's got there, and there's a small cut, like there's a pocket there, and he says, but I'm just going to make a dumb joke here. My hands are kind of full. I mean, if you want to grab that, it's right here.
I'll take it out.
Grab
he was telling Norok that Obo...
I had a date that went this way once.
And I'll tell him thank you for keeping the note, and also tell him thank you for doing whatever he could for Obo while he was still around. So.
He nods solemnly. I just sent you the note of what the note said.
Okay, cool.
He says Obo's body is still in process, but I mean his bones will be ready hopefully before long, and if we can find some way to escape all of this horror, then you can do what you need to. He knows what the funerary rites are. Obviously Norok knows it too, but basically he knows that the bones have to be cleaned first. and Norok knows that process is that they're in a barrel full of beetles and bugs to eat the flesh away. So once all that's gone, then you can take the bones back like you need to.
And then you can eat the beetles and bugs.
Ugh.
It's really a win-win. Oh, shush! And
So, all right, but he had told you
someone's too
that
good for beetles and bugs.
there are these obnoxious I guess what do you guys from here? I want to try to make sure there's a scene that we need to hopefully get through before the end here. So what are you guys doing?
I'm asking Kwando if he ever gets weird with those things.
He chuckles at you and says,
I like that he actually has a good sense of humor. Finally, somebody.
I mean, he's had a little time to heal. Like the stumps are. That was 3 weeks ago since his hands were cut off, so he's had a little time to heal and process it. It might have been, yeah. It's probably more like I didn't pull the calendar up to check it exactly how long ago it was, but anyways, what are you guys doing?
I'm following
Samson and Prince. Okay. Everybody else?
I'm going to give Kwando a pat on the back and say, you're doing great things, appreciate everything you're doing here, and keep following the group, since I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for Clover and Pepperjack.
Okay. Then you guys head up the stairs and out into the open air, into the inside of the walls of Dunskathak here. And you hear the obnoxious drum beats and these kind of bleeding of these off-rhythm horns coming from outside the walls. There's this like constant mind-grating irritation. It's clear that it's intended to make the restful sleep all but impossible for the people inside. And amongst these clearly bedraggled and exhausted Crowblinder soldiers and Meowtown mercenaries, you guys wander around through these through the tents, all these kind of siege tents. They're all attempting to rest in whatever temporary peace there is. It doesn't appear that there's any active skirmishes going on, and everybody's pretty much safe inside for the most part during this siege. Pogo, something catches your eye though. You see 2 men.
Is it that?
Well, that would have been more catching your ear, maybe. But you see 2 men walking between these siege tents. One is a bald Babian mage with these like really sun-darkened skin, and he's wearing these kind of dark purple robes. And opposite him is a veteran soldier in half plate and Crowblinder's livery, like Crowblinder's colors. And he's walking with a pronounced limp, like a very pronounced limp in one side, and he's holding a helmet under one arm. And he's got this kind of shaggy salt and pepper hair and a beard. Everybody else, you recognize that it is Commander Pepperjack and Ozzy, who you did not know was here.
I'll wave to
How do
Ozzy.
I add a note in this game again?
Like make a note for yourself.
Yeah, how do I do that?
There, you can put, if you don't already have it, you can make the notes button show up on the right side
So
for
I
you. So
have the notes button, and there's
Okay,
2
so
notes
click that.
under there. But do I just start
Is there?
typing?
No. Is there a plus minus button in the bottom right corner, like a little square?
There is.
Like
add
that?
Item. Cool. Is that just for me, or is that for everyone?
Everybody does. Well, as far as the notes, I think the notes show up for everybody if you make one.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Do they, Fox?
It depends. You have to click on them to make them public.
Oh, okay. So if you don't make it
the
public, then it would just be for
the
you.
VA for Kwando did not show up, but the other 2 showed up.
You didn't see the one for Kwando?
No, it showed up, but it was blank.
Oh, that's weird.
So,
Okay.
real quick, can you guys see the new note that I just made? Nothing really in it. It would be called New Note under Notes.
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I have some remembrance of some of these people.
Yeah,
No.
there's a lot of NPCs, so that would be good for you to remember who people are.
Hands.
Do the rest of us?
What's that? Yeah, you all see this. You guys recognize Pepperjack and Ozzy. Just Pogo doesn't know who they are, so I was describing them for him.
But Ozzy's wearing the bad guy's shit, so.
He is a Vabian mage. Like he's wearing Vabian style and a purple robe, which is their color. I'll tell you too, the VA that I shared there, Justin. That's exactly what he looks like, except the tattoos are not there.
And this John Rudin is Pepperjack?
That is Pepperjack. Yeah, his name is actually John Rudin. Pepperjack is the nickname.
Yeah, let's not. Got to make it extra confusing.
It makes sense. You guys just it takes a little time. Like these guys all know why it's called Pepperjack now, but unless
I
they
would
forgot.
yell out Ozzy's name and run towards him.
Well, okay. Before you have a chance to do that, you hear a very loud, annoying horn, You see, though, that it's clear that they are arguing. They appear to be arguing. Ozzy is very clearly frustrated, and he looks to the point of shouting, while Pepperjack continues to shake his head dismissively. They're arguing back and forth.
Okay, well, I'll approach them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess who... Well, okay. At what distance? Because you guys are probably 100 feet away. You see them, and you guys recognize them. Are you just going to walk straight up to them while they're arguing? Everybody else is clearly, like, giving them some space.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna walk right up to them while they're arguing.
Okay. Okay. Where's Nora?
Fuck it, me too.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll just follow along.
Okay.
Oh, by this time, Sai would probably have jumped back onto my shoulder instead of Sarah's.
Sai got dissolved.
Oh, right. Crap.
Yeah. So you're going to have to resummon her.
Yeah.
And she might not be happy about it. Yeah, it takes you an hour to do that, so...
Yeah, I'll have to do that later.
Okay. So they were walking away, like further. They were walking the other direction, like away from you guys. And then they stopped when Ozzy was like yelling at him. It looked like, but it's clear though that Pepperjack has this like pretty pronounced limp in his left leg. But as soon as you guys kind of rushed towards them and you shouted, was that Sarah that yelled Ozzy?
Yeah.
Okay. Ozzy turns and he kind of stops and he kind of smiles. But it's clear that there's like it's almost a formality, and he kind of because he's still angry at Pepperjack. He turns back looking at Pepperjack, and he's Pepperjack is in the middle of saying, he says, "Your words ring hollow." And Ozzy says, "Commander, the order will come whether you like it or not. Emperor Caius has no choice, and nor do you. You must change your mind and listen to reason." And Pepperjack kind of ignores Ozzy, and he turns to see you guys approaching. And he says, "Oh, thank bloody etch, you made it. Is the Older Rock, you have it? Is that it?" He's looking at
Nora
Nora.
has it. I'm pointing to Nora.
You move out of the way then. He sees Nora kind of carrying this big case. Just then, Prince and Samson come around the other side of the tents, like they've been looking for him as well. And Samson shouts, "Commander, we feared the worst when..." And he kind of throws a scowling glance towards Sarah. He says, "When we were unable to reach you, Squad Mage Bottle, he didn't die when the Crowblinders abandoned ship as we thought. We found him alive when we got to the Emperor, and something had got
I'd
to him.
say
He was being
alive
transformed."
is a bit of a
Yeah, I would not
overstatement.
call that alive.
Let's not. Come on.
He kind of nods in frustration. He says, "But they're right. I mean, he was being transformed into something alien."
No,
But
he was past the transform part. He was already 3/4 of the way, which there would be no way to actually move him.
And
Yeah,
Samson
he
kind
was
of nods. He says, "But before all of that, he found some means of encoding a message, and he locked the Older Rock away, preventing something, I don't know what, from taking it." He says, "Arteme knows more. I don't know that now's the time, but maybe she can fill you in." And he
I'm
says,
just gonna say it's not as important as what's going on here right now. We'll get to that later.
he kind of nods. He says, "But in Bottle's journal, he spoke of a bloodless cosmic demon devouring worlds. I mean, I have to imagine he referred to the hunger, but we really need to, these messages felt like a warning. We should probably have the Cabal study it." And he says,
I'm
"Yeah, well,
going
what?
to interrupt him
Okay.
and look at Ozzy and say Maeve is on our side and she's headed this way, and we need to make sure that our people don't kill her."
Oh yes, definitely.
He smiles at you and he says, "I know. That's why I'm here. She asked me to come."
Oh, okay.
Just making sure.
So Pogo would also like to ask, why are you helping everyone here? You look like the people that are trying to fucking murder us for the last 20 miles.
He looks at you and he says, "If it's not time to find out about some, bloodless cosmic demon, it's probably not time to discuss that either just yet."
Yeah, definitely not.
He says, but I'll,
Man, did I get on the wrong boat.
he says, I'll happily fill you in later, though. I could always some smiles and some funny stories." He can tell that you're a gleeman by your clothing. Pepperjack, looking back at Arteme and Sarah, though, he says, "Yeah, I mean, we're going to need to get his words back to the Emperor. So the Cabal can study them, but first we just have to survive this siege." He looks at Norok and then over to Samson. He says, "Samson, take the Ark and Squad Mage Bottle's journal down to the Undercroft so the mages can begin the summoning rituals." And Samson looks back at you guys. He says, "Who has it?"
I do.
Samson.
I will hand it to him.
Wait.
Okay.
Did someone just say we're what? Are we just gonna bring some big demon up from somewhere? That sounds safe. Are we sure this is gonna be okay?
Pepperjack looks at you and says, "Were you asleep for the last 3 minutes?"
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I'm not gonna lie. Did you see the guy without any hands? He's hilarious.
Ozzy says, "Well, I suppose that's my cue. I'll get to work then." He says, "We will continue this conversation later, Commander." And Pepperjack, looking at Pogo, he says, "So I see the natural ones are growing their ranks then, eh?"
Not intentionally. No
And
offense.
I'd like to look at him and be like, I try to grow my ranks about twice a week with the right women if I can.
He chuckles and says, "We'd probably all, but I don't know. If the bloodshed with Vabby doesn't end soon, I may be looking for a new job myself. So I hope you'll keep me in mind."
Was he talking to me?
He was talking to the natural ones as a group.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He's saying
okay.
that
I thought he was hitting on me. I was like, oh, all right.
no, he was saying that you know
I
that
think
the
Pepperjack,
Emperor
right?
might fire him, huh? Yeah, Pepperjack said that.
Okay, yeah.
He says,
I think right now finding a new job might not be your highest concern.
"Well, if I don't survive this one."
Well, if you survive, you're always welcome in our group. Always.
Yep.
He kind of chuckles. He says, "Well, I need to get back to the ranks. So I mean, it's great to see you guys. Is there anything I can help you with in the meantime before I get back to work?"
Just make sure my EV doesn't die.
Got
He
it.
is a friend. And she's got a giant, or what is he, half giant?
Yeah,
Okay.
half giant.
He says, "Yeah, I know what a seer domain is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh," and he starts to turn and then kind of stops and turns back to you. He says, "I gave Clover my stone. We've kind of run low on resources, as you can imagine, so I was banking on you all returning quickly so that I could take the stone that I lent you back to keep in communication with her."
Oh, okay, sure.
As
I'll
Pogo
hand
looks
it to him.
around, is there like an infirmary or an area with a bunch of hurt people?
The area that you walked through was the infirmary.
I'd like
underground.
to let everyone know that I'm going to go sing them a song to help with their recovery, and if they'd like to join me, they can get a few extra hit points on a short rest.
Okay. So then the commander is kind of turning and leaving, assuming you guys don't need anything else from him, to head to the front lines. Well, not the front lines necessarily, but where his soldiers are. So I mean, you're free to do so if that's what you're aiming to do. He does.
Yeah.
He's limping through the gathered throngs of these Crowblinders and Miotau, and you do see about 150 feet away, though. You see Samson holding the Olderok, who is speaking to Ozzy in hushed tones, kind of more rather like Ozzy's just yelling at him, kind of like he was at Pepperjack. But Samson is nodding in agreement. Ozzy stops speaking to him and he glances in your direction, and then Samson like immediately trudges up through the down towards the Undercroft, the direction that he was heading before. And you guys are heading back down to the infirmary then? Is that, well, I guess.
Would you guys like to join me for a few minutes? I'm going to go see, because I'm assuming everyone in the infirmary is already
Is already what?
resting.
Yeah, I mean the basically that's where they go to. There's a mess hall, like there's where the soldiers go is different than where all the where the wounded go. But if you're just trying to go to the mess hall, like to play a song and eat.
No, this is
like
for
that.
us. This is for a short rest. I'm going to help them all regain some hit points, and even the group that are our normal group as well, if they'd like to take
Oh,
a short rest
yeah.
there.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
So
Okay.
it won't recover everything, but it doesn't take more than
Well, it's an hour. A short rest.
an
is
hour.
An hour.
I
Yeah,
figure, are we doing anything else in the next hour?
but
No,
well,
I was gonna take a long rest. Or for me, a long rest is 4
Well, I don't-
hours. So I was just gonna.
I don't know if we can unless because sound's keeping everyone awake.
you still can try. It'll just be basically it's going to be making a check. But we're going to go ahead and end here anyway. But if
Okay.
there's stuff, if you guys want to take a long rest, you at least have the potential ability to do so. We'll pick up here next week, but especially with that annoying fucking horn. But anyways, where we'll pick up, you guys will have had the opportunity to do so. So you can either do it at the beginning of the next session, or you can try now. It's up to you.
I'm just gonna use 2 charges of my Ring of Healing Surges to cast it at 60 feet
Okay.
and use it on Pepperjack since he's limping.
Okay.
So he
Go
can roll hit die.
I'll tell you this: the kind of injury he has, it's not bleeding anymore. It's kind of like the lingering injuries you guys have.
Okay.
He did also previously refuse to let you guys heal it, but remember that. Yeah.
Would I know that?
Yes. Because I told him I'd heal his wound.
You guys
and
did,
he
yeah.
refused twice. Actually,
Yeah.
3 times he refused.
Yeah. He specifically told you that that his lieutenants will not let him allow him to. So there's no risk of him being, well, as he said it, no risk of him being injured there, and specifically that they need to save their dental warren, the healing type of magic. They need to save those resources for the people that actually need it. That's what he told
Yeah,
you.
which is why I offered to heal him like 3 times and he refused. So
Yeah.
I was like,
What?
Alright, then I'm just gonna nod at Ozzy and follow Pepperjack out to the front lines, or wherever he's going.
Okay.
And help out.
And I'm going to. What would it, having this loud volume? We're trying to sleep. Is that going to be a Constitution check to determine if we can?
Yeah, so anybody that is going to try to take a long rest right now, well, again, we'll pick up here, next week. So there might be, some of you are resting, and if we're splitting the party, there might be some disparity next week when we start it. We'll catch up before we, get into too much. So if anybody that's trying to take a long rest, go ahead and roll a Constitution save. We'll do con checks. Go ahead and do con checks. Because you are able to sit still. Like, this isn't really something, happening to you as much as yours.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to fucking roll.
You did it right.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you rolled a Constitution check. Because you're poisoned still.
oh, okay.
Would you have tried to cure that first?
Yeah,
'Cause
but
you
I
dropped
already used all my spell slots.
Oh, shit, you did. Does
Do
anybody
we-
else have lesser restoration? I don't think so, do they?
No.
Nope.
Do we?
Yeah, it's fine.
Do we
You only
know?
need 4 hours, Fox, so go ahead. Sorry, Justin.
Do we know that if we're having a bad night's, do we still get a short rest if we don't get a long rest?
Yeah, you'd be able to at least get an hour in for sure. Your roll actually was fine, Justin. It's just 10 and above, so Arteme is the only one. Okay, so she actually dropped at 18. She would have been fine if it weren't for the poison. She would have been able to cure the poison on herself had she not fed all of the starving people. This Fox is just a permanent bad luck.
I forgot I was poisoned.
Yeah, like you would have been able to. Oh shit! I forgot to. Okay, so you had Sorsha with you as well. So you have a unconscious, very disgusting. Like anybody that's nearby would have to try to prevent themselves from retching. That's how bad she smells. For carrying. And you did carry her through all of those people, as well as in the presence of Pepperjack and Ozzy and so on. So we will we'll handle that next week when we get there. But as far as so Sarah went off, but Pogo, Arteme, and Pogo, Norok, and Arteme all tried to take a long rest.
Yeah, and I'll help the people in the morning if we get a long rest.
Okay. All right, then I'll apply those rests afterwards because if I try to do it to everybody, I deserve it because she chose to go walk off to the front lines instead. So.
Yep.
All right. Let's see, guys. Then next week, Justin, that's your music festival. Is the 26th.
I will be gone Saturday evening.
So Friday So we were planning on Friday this week.
Friday works for me next week.
Does that still work for everybody else?
What time?
The 25th at I think it was 8. Was it? Our time? 11 o'clock your time, Fox.
Yeah, just past 11, because we sometimes go to 11:30, so I think we put it to about 11:30, so it'd be 8:30.
Yeah, 8:30. So you want to start then at 8:30 our time, 11:30 your time, right?
Yes, that was
Cool.
the plan, I think.
Yep, that sounds right. Does that work for everybody?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
All right, guys.